What up, lifers? What up, lifers? What up, lifers? It's Dave Life. It's Dave Life, and you're watching a special edition of Dave Life After Dark. A special edition of Dave Life After Dark. This is episode number 247. Dave Life After Dark, episode number 247. Relationship trauma. Stay and pray, or stay and pay. Look, man, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're with us tonight, and I want to say thank you. So let's start this off like we always do, the right way. Heavenly Father, have your way, Lord. I pray that you would speak to your people, Lord. I pray that you would enlighten us, entertain us, and inform us, Lord. I pray, Lord, less of me and more of you. We just bind the enemy, any distraction, any weapon formed against us. We bind it in the name of Jesus. It will not prosper. We ask that you forgive us of our sins we've committed by both commission and omission. Charge it to our head and not our hearts, Lord. Wash us in the blood of thy Son, Jesus Christ, and give us a great conversation. And we give you all the praise, glory, and honor in Jesus' name. Amen, amen, and amen. What up, lifers, man? What up, lifers? Oh, where are we at? Do we got ourselves? Oh, we're there. Look, y'all, we're going in tonight. We're going in. It's a special edition of After Dark. A special edition of After Dark, man. I appreciate everyone that does watch us on a regular basis. This was unplanned, unscheduled. We decided to go live kind of spontaneously. We had some interesting things to talk about. And I got a few people that I want to introduce. All right. We're going to get right to it. Someone is in the building. Someone is in the building all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. She is in Dave Life Studios live. She's in Dave Life Studios live out here in beautiful Southern California. Y'all know her. Her name ain't Sarah, but it rhymes with Sarah. Welcome to the building, Kara. What's up, Kara?
Hey guys, SoCal is amazing. I'm happy to be here. I am sleepy, but I am here.
Good seeing you. Good seeing you. Good seeing you. I'm glad you're here. Where's the? Welcome to Dave Life Studios.
I appreciate it.
How does it feel to be in Southern California?
It's gorgeous. It's not my first time in SoCal, but it's been a while, definitely before COVID, and it's just a beautiful place. So I'm grateful.
All right. Good to see you. Glad to have you here. And we do have somebody else in the building. She's a woman. She is, but we call her that girl because she's that girl, Sophie. Come on in the building. What up, Sophie?
Hello.
How you feel, Sophie?
I ain't gonna hold you, and I ain't gonna lie to you, but I am doing absolutely amazing and I'm jealous. I'm a little green, literally, with envy because Kara, who rhymes with Sarah, is in the same vicinity with you.
Yeah, she made it. She made it. Okay.
I'm the third wheel, clearly.
Never.
I'm here, and I'm so happy to be here to talk on Dave Life in Dave Life Studios.
Absolutely. I appreciate you too for being here, Sophie. Man, let me see here. Let's get rid of the music. We in the building. All right, cool. All right, so look, y'all. Tonight was kind of an impromptu moment. And let me see what's up with all the lifers, man. All right, I see the lifers in the building. I want to make sure that all of our lifers are in the building. So, ladies, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take myself off camera briefly and let you guys talk. But the topic here is relationship trauma. Stay and pray or stay and pay. All right. I'll let y'all kind of think about that for a moment. You guys can talk amongst yourselves while I make sure that people on Instagram and the people on Facebook and the people on YouTube are good. So I'll be right back, ladies.
All righty.
All right. So I did a little research.
Okay. I love it.
Relationship trauma. And I'm going to just maybe do a quick Google on relationship trauma and see what Google has to say. Because I thought it was one thing, but sometimes, it could be something. I'll put definition.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definition. Okay. So it says relationship trauma occurs when an intimate relationship has involved a significant physical, sexual, or psychological abuse. Another definition is trauma can stem from emotional, physical, or sexual abuse endured during the relationship and produce a long-lasting psychological and physical effects. Then it also says that someone who has suffered from such trauma tends to experience intense emotions and relive trauma experiences.
Mm.
Your thoughts about the definition?
So the definition is interesting. It seems to encompass a lot. What I initially thought about with relationship trauma was some sort of breach in trust, financial, physical, intimate, professional, failing to do something that you're supposed to do or actually do something that you shouldn't have done, essentially. So, but the definition made me think about other things. So if the person is already predisposed or has some sort of past issue, they might be more easily susceptible to a particular traumatic experience. So let's say if they were a victim of SA and certain actions kind of trigger that might be, relationship trauma. So it's bigger than just cheating, essentially.
I was surprised too on this particular definition. I feel like it can be anything that is significant. I think they maybe have just highlighted it says involves significant physical, sexual, or psychological abuse. I would probably elaborate to encompass, like you were saying, Kara, anything that may have been shocking, maybe some information that you weren't aware of that affected your mental. And I would then call it that gives you in a future relationship PTSD. Because now you're reflecting on, someone may be an ex-spouse or boyfriend, husband, whatever, may have ruined my credit, may have harmed me physically, may have popped up a child on me. So when they say significant, I would continue elaborating on, or just say anything that you weren't aware of and was traumatic to you. I learned that there's a thing called financial abuse.
Absolutely.
I didn't know. And that falls under the umbrella of domestic violence. There's financial abuse, physical and mental. We always hear about the physical and don't realize that there's also a way that there's some men that feel like, or women that feel like, okay, you make the money and what's mine is mine, but what yours is ours, and then you leave that relationship. And then now when you found a good man, he's taking care of you, and you're kind of like, I don't want to tell you how much money I make. Why I got to pay all the bills, or pause. But why do I have to contribute in other ways? I want to keep my money because you've got the PTSD. So Dave, while you were gone, we read the definition of relationship trauma. And it said, to recap really quick, relationship trauma occurs when an intimate relationship has involved a significant physical, sexual, or psychological abuse. What say you?
Yeah, I would agree. Psychological abuse, emotional abuse, of course, SA, physical abuse, sexual abuse. Hey, look, man, divorce could be trauma. Cheating and infidelity could be trauma. Addiction could be trauma. And look, you guys, we're going to get straight to it because we're only doing an hour tonight, unless we're able to go over. But I want to play the clip, and a shout out to this brother right here in the clip. We got to remember, you guys, that when we discuss these topics and we take these various videos and memes, and I'm speaking to myself as well as a host. Sometimes these are real people, and the brother in this video, I believe his name is Marvin Simmons. I saw the video, I posted it to my story, and I asked a question. And believe it or not, Kara, and believe it or not, Sophie, this is how God worked. You know that brother DM me? Right now, as I'm setting up, he DM'd me and said, "Thank you, brother," because I shared this clip, and I said, "Is that you?" And it was him. So I basically invited him and said, "If you want to come on, we're going live. Hopefully, he'll click the link and come on if he's
What's his
watching."
name? What's his name?
Marvin Simmons, and I don't
Hey,
want to, I don't want to make it. It's about him, So it's a traumatic thing. So, but I would love to hear your story. If he sees this live, Marvin, if you see it live, come on, hit the link. And if not, unless you're interested in use your story as an example to kick off a discussion on whether people should stay and pray, or whether if they stay, someone may make them pay. Right? That's kind of what it is. All right, so I want to play this clip, you guys. Let me share this clip. Mind you, this is not a skit.
Oh, didn't know that.
Yeah, no, this is real. And from what I can tell, this looks real.
Marvin, you got to come up and let us know.
I believe it's real.
Going somewhere where I'm appreciated. I'm not going to keep paying for a past mistake that I made. I've changed. I paid the price for the mistakes I made. And if you continue to convict me, you're convicting an innocent person. I'm not the same man. Me going to the gym should not be a threat to you. Me being promoted in my job shouldn't be a threat to you. Me getting a new car should not be a threat to you. I feel like I'm sleeping with the fucking enemy. I don't understand why you're here if you don't want to make shit work. It's like you're staying just to make me pay. If you're here, then you got a responsibility to do your part. Otherwise, be woman enough to leave. I'm out of here, baby. I love you too, but I can't deal with this.
All right. So we're gonna let that kind of circle in the background as we discuss things. So for those that didn't hear it, the summary here is he cheated, or he had some past infidelities that caused trauma in his relationship. And when it starts off,
There's a little
the
echo.
lady, there is a little echo.
Mhm.
All right, I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm gonna mute you guys, and then I'll unmute you guys after I'm done. It's probably the setup that we're in, you guys. The mics are close, so I apologize. So once I'm done, I'll unmute everybody. Shout out to Instagram. Come on over to YouTube. Come on over to YouTube. If you're here, come to YouTube. Go to DaveLifeTV. All one word on YouTube. Click on the live tab, and you'll see us live. All right. So apparently, the woman that he was with said, "Where are you going?" And he said, "I'm leaving." He basically said, "You can't keep penalizing me for things I did in the past. I'm not the same person, and I feel like you're just staying with me to make me pay." And that made me think of the whole discussion of stay and pay or stay and pray. When you go through a breakup, or when you go through a cheating or an infidelity or something like that, what do you do? So I'm going to mute myself and bring the co-host back up, the panelists, and ladies, I want you guys to just discuss stay and pray, or stay and make the person pay. All right, mics are back open. Go ahead, ladies.
I'm probably leaving. Now, I don't have children, so breakups are a little easier when there aren't any children and there's not a family involved. But I don't see myself being able to be myself in a relationship where there was infidelity. Now, I think it is important, and I wish we had the backstory. When was the infidelity? Did he fess up, or was he found out? Did he spill his guts little by little and give half truths? How long ago was it? So you can't determine how quickly someone should heal, right? You have caused an issue in your relationship, and it seems like the woman is having some difficulty managing that. How long was he going through this? But I'm also not going to drag it out. So I don't have time for that. I'm not the go through your phone type of person, and I'm not going to allow a situation to make me question myself. So I'm probably dipping.
Mm-hmm.
You said you're probably gonna dip. All right.
Yeah.
So the four answers on the screen are. Oh, that ain't it. That's the old. That's the old episode.
Yay, click and like.
That ain't it either. Drunk couple arrested. The devil is
That
alive.
just wants to be seen right now.
All right. Devil is a liar. All right.
Uh-uh.
So the questions are: do you stay and pray? Do you stay and make him pay? Stay and pray is basically you stay, you pray, you forgive him,
I
and you stay.
understand.
Stay and pay is, you know what, dog? I'm gonna stay, but I'm gonna remind you every single opportunity that you hurt me, you caused trauma, you cheated. The other questions are, the other two options are, you could leave without a discussion. Not even a discussion, bounce. Or you could have a discussion and still break up with them and leave. So it's basically, don't say nothing, break up. Say something and reach closure, break up. Or stay and make him pay, punish him. Or stay and actually forgive him. Which of the four would you do, Kara?
Well, my forgiveness has nothing to do with the relationship actually getting restored. My forgiveness is for me. I am probably not going to have much of a conversation when I decide to leave, except to let him know that it is over. I'm not going to waste my time punishing someone when I have my life to live and my healing to get on with. So good luck to him, and maybe he'll do right by the next woman. But I'm out of there.
Okay, Sophie, what's your answer? Stay and pray, stay and pay, leave without a discussion, or have a discussion, but you still ain't staying with the guy.
Is that what it said?
Yeah, those were the four options that I
I
put
thought
in.
it just said have a discussion.
No, it said have a discussion, but leave.
And the fourth one?
Leave without a discussion. So it went like this. A was leave without a discussion. B, have a discussion, but I can't stay with you.
Mhm.
C, I'm gonna stay with you, but I'm gonna make you pay, punish you. And D was I'm gonna stay, I'm gonna pray, I'm gonna forgive. And we won't relive this, we won't relive the trauma.
If this is a non marital union, relationships are just, I liken them to employment. So if something had happened, let's say, for example, like this, you've messed with my paycheck. Like you didn't pay me for months. You were taking pieces of my paycheck for months. And then I find out, and then now you're saying I'm sorry. And I can't get those funds back. We're going to have a discussion, but for your benefit, I'm going to leave. So whatever letter it was, we'll have a discussion. But especially if we are not married, there is no reason for me to stay with somebody, because the thing about cheating is, first of all, you cannot cheat on me. You're cheating on yourself. You're cheating on a woman who is going to be all the things, that I am. And you had to lie and cheat yourself on the peace of mind of being honest and truthful in order to go ahead and do what you did. So you cheated yourself out of me. And if I allow you to stay, then it puts me in a situation where I'm going to have to silence myself to make you feel better. Why should I make you feel better for spending time with somebody that you had to either lie about me or literally shut me off to spend time with that person? So yeah, I'll hear your story, and they usually like to ask for a hug. I'll give you a hug, but I can't stay with you because it's gonna eventually end up hurting you. No one knows how to deal. There is a script. There are a list of things like be honest, show true remorse, move forward, avoid going to the same places with temptation, like check in regularly. You can do all that, but that's a lot of work for somebody I'm not married to. So it's two different things. If I'm married, we'll have a discussion still, but there will be some time that we'll need to have to like really recalibrate. But if you're a boyfriend, by the grace of God, give me the strength to just make sure that I can leave for 500, whichever letter that was.
That makes sense. So what do we say for the people that stay? Right.
Get
There
ready.
are some people. There are some people that stay, Sophie, and they forgive, and they work through. And I'm not saying that that's easy. I'm not saying that it's even desirable initially, but there are some people that that stay when someone cheats. What do we say to them?
Good luck. It's a very hard, it is possible. I've heard of people. I used to have a friend that I would brag about. He cheated on his wife. She found out. The guy actually came after him and like found him on LinkedIn, went to his job and like did like everything. Like because he had the girl coming to his house as an assistant and he worked 2 jobs and they basically were having sex. And then she was doing the job for his like part-time job. So when the
Okay,
husband heard about that, it was a whole big thing. But the man
you
came
lost me.
after him. Yeah, it's a
You
long
said,
story.
but you said he came to his job. So
Yeah,
the husband was sleeping with a woman. Where does this other man come from?
it's the girl's husband. She was
Ah,
married
okay.
and she's had a part-time job, and her part-time job was doing his other contract job and doing him. So when the husband found out that she was literally doing the work for a job, his angle was, I'm gonna go ahead and let the job know that your employee is subcontracting out the work with my wife. So he quit the job, thought he could pivot, and life goes on. But the guy came after him. He made sure he let everyone know. Then his wife found out. Long story short, they had to move and they began their healing process to try and move it on. I'm hesitant on sharing any more of this story because my friend might be watching and I don't know what the freak I was doing. But I've seen it where that people can like be accountable, make sure you answer the phone calls. I don't know, share locations, you're letting them know where you're going. And he seemed like he does that like all the time. Like he's just and it's something that he says that he just will forever have to do because he cheated on her. Now, as for me, when you cheat on me, only thing you cheat me out of is the way that I viewed you. So I was viewing you a certain way and you cheated. So now I look back at myself and I'm like, dang, I was that gullible, Dave, that I didn't see the signs. I don't like that part. When I have to look at myself and look like, well, dang, I didn't even question that. I start questioning myself. That's why I have to leave you, because I don't want to have to question when I'm just naturally, oh, babe, I'm going to the gym. All right, have a good time. I don't want to have to do that because now you make me question myself.
Right. You know, man, listen, I'll go back to my college days long before I met Destiny, right? So this is all just a story from my past. I only cheated on one person in my whole life, and that was my girlfriend in college. And it was traumatic, right? And ironically, it was a result of Freaknik '93. You know, shout out to everybody that's, you know,
Dave gonna be in the documentary.
hey, listen, if that Two Live Crew and Too Short and Wu-Tang concert, if that's in there, yeah, I might be. As a young college man, I gave into temptation, and older women plied me. Yeah, I don't want to say too. Well, you know what? It's a college story, but basically, somebody I had a crush on, a older upperclassman I had a crush on since the end of my freshman year. After Freaknik, for some reason, was seriously interested in me, and when she said, "Hey, I'd like to go to your school this summer. Can you mail me a catalog? Can you bring me an application? Can you mail me an application?" I said, "I'll do you one better. I'll bring it to you. My girlfriend's out of town. I ain't seen you in about a good year. We're friends. I'll bring it to you." I brought it to her, and she brought something to me. I wasn't ready for what she put on me.
Okay.
And so I cheated. All right. So then after I cheated, because we only got so many minutes, so I can't go into my long-winded stories. But I cheated, and I came back home and felt super guilty, and told my girlfriend the next day, and she was upset, and we broke up, and she put me in the doghouse, and I was in the doghouse for 5, 6, 7, 8 months. Doghouse, couldn't do nothing right, but she kept me around. But it was like, I don't know, David. So finally, when she's ready, she's like, okay, baby, I'm ready to rekindle. Have you been out there? It's like, I've been back out there. We're not together. Well, why are you still out there? I'm like, because we're not together. So I'm maximizing my opportunities.
Okay, well, anyway.
So she put me in a doghouse again. Hold on. No. The point I'm making here, Sophie, is
I'm listening to this girl, this person talk to you about how she's feeling. I'm like, okay, but go ahead.
I'm trying. So Sophie, the point I'm making with my story here is she made me pay you guys, and I wasn't mature enough to be prepared to accept my responsibility and change. I accepted responsibility, but I wasn't ready to change. And I was just young, dumb, and full of cum, as they say. And it was very difficult to change. And when I finally did, it was 2.5 years later, after we make up, break up, and I kept every time we broke up, I would go out there and just be like, you know what, yo, I ain't with nobody. So I wasn't necessarily trying to jump through the hoops. And this guy right here in this video, and I still don't know if this is a skit or not, but his caption says, has anyone ever been there? One of the most courageous decisions we will ever have to make as men and women is to walk away from a relationship that no longer serves us. Here's your gentle reminder that sometimes when the damage is done, the damage is done. Carrying dead weight will only weigh you down. Oh, okay, so he says it. This skit applies to both men and women. Nobody wins in this situation. All right, so this is a skit. So, hey, man, shout out to Marvin Simmons for doing a hell of a skit that made me think it was real enough that sparked the conversation. But Sophie, I hated jumping through the hoops because I felt like, yo, when are you gonna forgive? Like, I told you what I did. I confessed. You had to catch me, right? And at the end of the 3 years, when the relationship was finally over and we both moved on, you know what she said to me? She said, I wish you lied to me because we would have still been together. I'm like, but you would have been with a liar. And she was like, but I'd be happy. Now, that's a college kid, 18, 19, 20. That's the logic back then. But it threw me off because I'm like, yo, I'm over here trying to be an honest guy, albeit I messed up. But I was honest about it, and I didn't expect her to stay with me. But I was like, if you're going to be with me, don't penalize. When you going to forgive? Like, forgive. Just hear me out, ladies. When are you going to forgive? And here's what I mean, because remember, I'm gonna play the audio because I want you to hear it. All right, because he made a very good point at the end.
Did he though?
Yes, he did.
It's like you're staying to make me pay. If you're here, then you got a responsibility to do your part. Otherwise, be woman enough to leave. I'm out of here, baby. I love you.
It's like you stay just to make me pay. If
No,
you're here,
no.
Hold on. And I'm gonna let you go. I just want to make this point. I know women that will penalize a man. They won't let you leave. They won't break up with you. They don't want to end the relationship, but they want to make all these rules and all these hoops and be like, okay, you effed up. Let's use me. You effed up, sir, David. So now guess what? You gotta jump through these hoops. You gotta hop, skip, jump, turn around, get on your hip, get back up, get in the dirt, don't be dirty, do all this stuff, and make me smile just for me to give you, for me to accept you back in. And that's some bullshit. Like if you don't want to be with the person, break up with them.
So why didn't you have that energy when you were cheating on me? If you didn't want to be with me and you cheated on me, why don't you have that same energy? And then now you flip the script, you did something wrong, and then I am being penalized, and I have to go ahead and cope. And as we discussed, I'm experiencing PTSD And you're going to tell me with the audacity that you're going to leave because you don't have to deal with this? Brother, I will gas you up and push that truck down the road. Go. Marvin, go. Skit, go. I don't have to deal with it. No, sir, no, ma'am. No, wait, how's it go? No, ma'am, no ham, no turkey. No.
Never heard that one.
No, I just made it up to make it rhyme. Go ahead, Kara. We was doing this. I was like this and you was like this.
See, my presence is a gift. So punishment is losing me. So good luck to you, sir. I'm out. I don't need to keep you to punish you because you're going to think that there's some sort of future, but my time is invaluable. So I'm going to bid you adieu. There'll be no conversation. What are we talking about? I don't have anything to say. Like I'm of the mind, I'm not going to ask questions unless I'm going to believe what you have to say. I'm not even open to hearing and believing it. I'm not asking. I'm not wasting my breath. So
I like what you said.
It's hard to do. That whole process is hard to do. And we are adult, seasoned women. So you think that, okay, I can accept this. Maybe I can try and work through it. But all that he got going on right there, he has too much audacity. Like, be woman enough? Bruh.
Well, hold on, Sophie. I got to jump in and play devil's advocate on this one, right? Because, okay, I hear what you're saying. You know, he's got the audacity, right? I'm tracking.
He's wrong.
But at the same time, though, y'all, he makes a great point. Okay, here's what I like about what Kara said. Kara said, I'm not going to ask a question unless I'm willing to believe what you're saying. Like I don't want to have questions and have a discussion unless I'm open to saying, okay, I'm going to give this a real, the old college try. You know, I'm going to trust it. Because see, I would rather a woman say, hey, bro, you messed up. Deuces. Don't even talk to me. Like, I don't have to stay and punish you because you're going to feel my absence and that's punishment enough. I'd rather that than what his skit implied, which was, no, don't leave. You're going to stay with me. I'm going to penalize you. You know what? You can't get no coochie. You can't get no support. You can't get no love. You can't get no advice. You can't get no breakfast. I'm plopping your food down like here. You know, my air in it, dirt in it. You know what I'm saying? Why do all that? Just break up with the guy.
Okay, so 2 things. So I showed you my true feelings on how, because I'm, a mature, seasoned woman, and what I would do now. Now, there are probably more women than not that decide to stay. So there are rules to that. When we say we're going to leave, it has to be, like Kara was saying, it has to be, I am a gift. I don't have to, I'm so sorry that this happened to you. I know that you're feeling bad. I'll give you. Okay. Second part of it is, if you stay, then now you are going to have to partner in this. Now you're healing with him. He's been bitten by, he's bleeding and he's in the ocean. And now he's got you there with him, and y'all are wondering why there's sharks swarming around you, because he's bleeding and you're helping him heal. Y'all can go through that. You're going to have to, he's going to have to first be transparent about why and how it happened, and then also have changed behavior, demonstrate a sincere remorse for the infraction. And then hopefully you guys don't go and tell everybody. And if you are, be selective on who you tell, so that you guys can heal in private and to be able to get through. I have heard of couples that have been able to do that, but it still is always something that is there. So with the audacity that I don't like about this is that, as it seems like it may be kind of fresh. So she's still in the height of it. And he is expecting, according to the clip, for her to just be done with it. Like, I don't want to be questioned. I don't want to be this. And then he kind of went off on some tangents that I don't understand. So Marvin, if you're here, drop something in the chat and elaborate on about that. If you get a new car, I don't get where that is. I don't know where that comes from. That sounds like it's something else, another layer. I didn't understand. But as far as
I think that
go
I
ahead.
think he was trying to say, you know, putting on cologne would cause a question. Getting a new car would be like, well, who are you trying to attract? So I think he was just trying to talk to possible insecurities, you know, getting more money or something like that. See, this, I ain't got time.
And that's the insecurities, because insecurities is now she's having an introspective situation where now she's questioning herself. And I don't like that as an adult female. Now I don't like that. Back then, okay, you know, but then you're going, am I too big? Am I too small? Was she better than me? You know, okay, I don't give head, but she gave better head. I don't like anal, you know, and you start questioning yourself. And I don't want to have to go through that. You cheated. You know, you're the one that needs to, you do need to grovel.
I agree. Ooh, grovel though. So Sophie, grovel because I'm gonna make you pay? Like
no,
it's like
grovel
punitive?
because you are sincere. And grovel, I'm not saying it is a negative word, but you are sincere with your remorse.
I understand. Okay.
You're
Repent.
trying to really, baby, please. Like
Repent.
the R&B. I'm talking about R&B 80s.
But here's the question.
Yeah.
Here's the question. If he's doing the keep sweat, he's crying.
Yes.
He's he's doing all that, right?
Yeah.
Here's the question.
Baby, I deserve for you to
Baby,
come.
I deserve all that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry for 1,004. And I'm not gonna do it. No, all that. Yeah. I'm not
you
really
feel me? Okay, that type of remorse and
but to what end? Here is it? I'm gonna do all that, and then Sophie's gonna take me back, or I'm gonna do all that, and Sophie's gonna end it anyway. Like, why is he doing all of that? I'm being honest.
Okay, you're doing that because you're showing that you are remorseful and you're taking all the steps, right? Because you know, if anybody has ever been cheated on, it is something that you are aware of, and you have to psychologically, because in our explanation of it is trauma, is post-traumatic stress, and then there's triggers to it. So he's only expressing triggers, and he's like kind of, you know, very heated about it. But you going to the gym is a trigger. You know why? Because when I thought you were at the gym lifting weights, you were lifting bonquisha. You know, when I thought you were purchasing a car for the family, you know, and I co-signed for it, you know.
But bonquisha was probably thick though.
Somebody was driving shotgun. And then now you're expecting me, you know, to like just forget about it. He has a lot of audacity. I get what he's trying to say. If you choose to stay, you should shut the F up. You're going to have to find a way to be quiet.
But no, he didn't go that far. Let me jump in. He didn't go that far.
That's what he's really wanting her to say.
But he didn't go that far.
You don't want to be questioned.
No, he didn't go that far. He didn't go that far.
Run it back. Marvin.
He didn't go that far. I'll run it back, but I gotta ask you this question. So the guy apologizes and he's sincerely, right, groveling and I'm sorry.
That was like groveling though.
Forget Marvin. I'm talking about an example with Sophie.
Yes.
Sophie, that girl.
Yes.
The guy, he's contrite, all this. Are you breaking up or are you staying? Why is he doing all of that? Other than repentance, other than to show you I'm really sorry. Let's get to the meat of it.
Because
you staying or you leaving?
To repair. Because you know what? I'm gonna be 1,000% transparent. If I am married or in a very serious relationship, I understand that you could accidentally fall on an eggplant. You can accidentally things could happen. You could have met somebody, it was a business transaction, and you know that she kind of feeling you, and you're kind of like letting me know, you know, I met this woman, she's a realtor, we went to the house and she was wearing this dress and I'm walking behind her. So you're kind of letting me know that you don't
slip on
you're
some
kind
dick.
of letting up. So it can kind of happen. We went out for drinks and baby, I
Sophie,
fell into it.
Sophie, are we you so the hard stance, Sophie, you need to grovel, be contrite and all this, but I understand you could slip on some dick or you could slip into some coochie.
It could happen. It could happen. I am not the prettiest, the smartest, the conversational. I'm not going to be your everything. Somebody else could catch your attention and you could have a downfall. You could slip and slide into something, not intending on doing it, just like what you did. It sounds like you kind of, your situation, you delivered it.
I mean, it was pretty. Listen, they made a documentary about the time period
I understand.
that I caved in.
Okay.
It was a generational
It was
opportunity.
Yes. I understand.
was something
You were
else.
in Temptation Atlanta, not Temptation. I can understand. I have seen people
As a 19-year-old, Sophie.
Yes, but as a grown man, if you slip and fall, you kind of know before it happens. I like her. I'm wondering if it's the texture of it, what it smells. I'm wondering all those things. You're wondering all those things. And when it happens, that's not an accident. It isn't. It's most times it's pre-med. Unless you were drugged or roofied, then you kind of know when you're about to go over that threshold. It's great if you can come back and let me know expeditiously. The quicker you tell me is the more easier for me and for me that I would say, okay, he's really sorry. When you said you went back immediately and you was like, hey, I'm sorry. And I feel like how we react, I feel like I'm talking a lot, but how we react to it will negate when you're like, I just need some time. If he's going to go back and keep hitting it and quitting it and hitting it and quitting it, hit it and hit it, but if you're like, hey, I understand you're asking questions, he's giving you the answers and we're trying to work through it.
Yeah.
And, but if you're kind of like, I'm mad, then of course he's going to go because
So let me jump in a little bit.
Please
All right,
do.
Destiny. And for those that don't know, that's my fiance. Hey, baby. Hey, my love.
What's she
All
saying?
right. Destiny said it's going to take some time to get over what happened, even if she chooses to forgive you. It's not like, oh, I forgive you and everything just immediately is back to normal. And you know what? I agree with that. And then she followed up with this. She said, there's going to be a rough period because of a situation that you and the person you cheated with, that you guys created because of that situation.
Mhm.
And I respect that too. Now I'm gonna say this. Number one, I'm 50. I don't cheat. I don't do that. I learned my damn lesson when I was 19. All right. And I don't play at all. I feel like this. If it's over, it's over.
Yes.
And when it's over, you can go out there and do whatever the hell you want.
And if you stay, you have to pray.
If you stay,
Because
you
you
gotta
are
pray.
experiencing post-traumatic stress. You will be triggered. Your brain, again, like I said in the beginning, I now view you. I have to relearn you.
Yeah.
Now you have, and that friend, the third part of that story is he had to confess to his wife certain things that happened to him, and why he feels the need. Let's say if he was short, I feel inadequate. And when I have a tall girl approaching me, it excites me. It makes me feel good. I feel like I'm seen, I'm heard. And that's why I did it. You have to really dig deep, both parties dig deep and be transparent. You know what, boyfriend? I tell all my friends, I have male friends that I talk to, and we have not been intimate. If there's anybody that I haven't intimate and we're still friends, we're cool. He's married or whatever it was. That was 30 years ago. And I will have that discussion. But if ever I feel like, I think he's being inappropriate, or I know what that means when he does this, there's a song I think by Drake, and he says, I saw you when you hugged him. I can tell, kind of like, how did that song go?
Yeah, I'm a little familiar.
Yeah, or something like that. Don't put me in a situation where you've been smashing this girl and she's in my face.
So we only have a few minutes. I want to get Kara to tag in here.
So, what I think is also worth discussing, it's not just the person who is cheated on, how they respond, but the cheater often turns into it accusatory. And because they were unable to be faithful, then they start trying to paint their partner as being unfaithful and putting them through hell.
Mhm.
No, ma'am. No, thank you. I'm out of there.
Mhm.
Okay.
No ham. Mhm.
Man, there's just too much going on, and my time is too precious. And go on vacation, cry me a river, and then back to life.
That's a great point because we forget that the cheatee or cheater, the other cheater, they may not be silent. They may decide, hey, oh, he has a podcast. Oh, I'm gonna be in the comments. I'm gonna harass the hell out of him. Oh, so
That's the residual effect.
Sophie, she's on a show and she does things. I'm
Mhm.
gonna find her public profile and oh, Kara does real estate. Okay, guess what? I'm at every open house,
Mhm.
pestering the
Or
hell
there's
out
a
of her.
baby, and that's the residual
Well, there's her
effect.
baby.
Yeah, and we have to just say, okay, this happened. I can once you're transparent, and that's the part that I can forgive you. I can if we're married. If you are able to articulate through therapy and say, hey, this is why I did it. I'm a short guy, or I was feeling really low. I felt inadequate. I lost my job. I ain't been working for a whole damn year. And I met this girl, and yeah, I was sleeping with her on her mattress in her Section 8 house. I was mixing juicy juice with Hennessy, and she was happy with it. But when I come home to you, you're upset because I'm driving Uber and I feel inadequate.
And that's why you shouldn't cheat.
Yeah, and I'm owning it because I felt low.
So let me take the responsibility of the man.
Mhm.
The man that cheats, if you want to stay with your woman and
Mhm.
she wants to stay with you, you got to eat it. You got to shut the hell up, take your medicine.
Yeah.
Now, back to what Brother Marvin Simmons did in his skit.
Mhm.
You can't have perpetually making me pay. At some point, let's say it's 5 years, whatever, however long it takes. Who knows, 10 years. At some point, it's got to be like, hey, baby, I'm not a cheater. I haven't cheated on you in 5 years. I haven't cheated on you in 10 years. Let me finish. So I wasn't a cheater before that, before I slipped into the punani or the woman. She wasn't a cheater until she slipped into the eggplant. Let's just go with that scenario. They have one mistake, or one stupid night, and they confess it, and now it's 5 years later, now it's 10 years later. At some point, the other spouse got to forgive and say, you know what? Let me finish. You've been good for 5 years. You've been good for 10 years. You've gone to counseling. You've gone to therapy. You've done everything I asked you to. You've been nothing but a stellar mate since then. You cannot keep holding that over the person's head. If so, why the hell are you staying with them? Go find somebody else.
Kara, you want to say something, sweetheart?
I can forgive you, but that doesn't mean that we're reconciling. Forgiveness is not about you; it's about me.
But that's Kara saying that at the point where he got you fucked up. I'm talking about for the woman, if it's you, Kara, that saves 5 or 10 years. We passed that. You didn't forgave him. You didn't stay with him. You know what I'm saying? What you just said was, I don't have to stay with you. Granted, that's one option. But for the woman that says, I am going to stay with you, why the hell you keep punishing that man?
Okay, I know you're maybe very passionate about this, and Marvin, and I'm sure men in the comments, I can't see them. They're kind of like, why the hell are you staying? I'm staying because I loved you, and you now have shown me a different side of you. And just for those in the back and you in the balcony, it is something that is forever going to be in my mind, that you tricked me, you lied, you manipulated situations. I will never, since you ain't gonna do it, I will never forget that. It will be there. And it will behoove you are going to have to.
My bad.
You.
I was
You
late.
will have to affirm me, because I may go a couple months, but then something may happen, because now, like I said in the beginning, you changed the way that I look at you. I wasn't questioning you before.
I got you.
That's how it allowed you
Well,
to
how do
change.
you get over that? And when do you get over that, Sophie? Is that forever for the rest of your life? So you with the guy in the first year he cheats. You stay with him 40 more years. Are you going to still look at him funny for 40 years? When does it get to the point where you forgive that man, you let it go, and you say you're a different man now? I'm serious.
Okay.
When does that happen?
Forgiveness and forgetting. And Kara used a word that I liked. I can't think of it right now, but there's a difference. I can forgive you and not forget. And it's not biblical. You cannot Google forgive and forget in the Bible. It's not biblical.
It is. It is.
Post-traumatic stress. There are military veterans that are 100% disability because they've got post-traumatic distress from when they were in the military and there was bombs. They tripped out over fireworks.
I agree, but I want to say something. I want to say something. Let me say something as the host. There's a certain thing called agape love. Now, we're not God. We're not Jesus. But we're supposed to aspire to be like God, to be like the Son of God, be like Christ-like. That's what we're supposed to aspire to. So that means, although today I may not forgive you and forget, man, if I'm going to stay with you 40 years, at some point, I got to throw that into the sea of forgetfulness, like my Father does, like the example of my Lord and Savior, if I'm going to stay with you. Now, if I'm not going to stay with you, then I can just say, hey, you know what? I can't handle this. Sophie, you cheated on me. Kara, you cheated on me. I can't do this. David can't handle it. I'm out. Go find another David. Because guess what? This David is out. See, my point is this. My point is this. If you can't handle the heat, just be honest and say this. Kara, that's the best answer tonight. If you were like, yo, I ain't got to forgive. If the forgiveness is for me, it ain't for you. I ain't got to reconcile you to forgive. I'm out. Kara has been standing on that all night, and I would rather a woman do that than put me through the ringer for the next 6 years. That's the BS.
So let me give a personal example. I met a gentleman when I just turned 18, and we dated off and on, a whole bunch of like teenager shenanigans, right? Breakup, makeup, a whole bunch of situations. Fast forward to about 10 years ago. We were talking about getting back together. And I had a woman-to-woman conversation. Apparently, he was in a relationship with someone else while he was talking to me about us getting back together. So technically, he didn't cheat on me. But for me, that was, he risked all that we had built over that time in terms of friendship and like really knowing each other and our families, being connected. I realized I could not trust him in a romantic setting anymore. And I'm just not going to allow a situation to turn me into lesser than I am. So I recognize I don't have the ability to deal with that, at least not at this point. Who knows what the future might hold? I can't speak on that. However, I rather say, look, you need to fix your situation. I hope you figure it out. But in that 10-year period, since we're no longer together, we talk occasionally. Even though he is with someone else and has a baby, he likes to try and insinuate that he wants to get back together. So what change has he really done? You know what I mean? And I'm thankful that although it was, devastating and I thought this was the person I would be with forever, I'm thankful that I walked away from that situation. So because I've had that experience, it's a lot easier for me to stand on my business today.
And you know what? And because I cheated when I was 19, I ain't lying, y'all. I said I'd never do a mess again. It hurt a good woman. It hurt me as a good man. Giving into the flesh, even though it was Freaknik 93 and it was the most magnanimous.
Good night.
Yeah. Yeah, because that don't seem like.
Just hear me. I'm joking because I'm a host. But let me be serious. Even though Freaknik was really, really tough for me, it's no excuse. And what I learned was, yo, you either gonna be with someone or you're not. Right? If you cheat, you don't slip and fall in the douche. You don't slip and fall into debt, ladies. That's Stop making excuses for yourself. If you cheated, you cheated. That's what happened. Own it, and here come the consequences. I learned in college. I'll never do that again because guess what? You mess up something good with someone, you're no longer the same person. You're no longer the same person. The relationship will not be the same. Like you said, Sophie, to your point, right? She's never going to forget. It's going to be, oh, she was thinner than me. Oh, she was thicker than me. Oh, she was lighter than me. Oh, she was darker than me. Oh, she did this trick. Oh, she did that. Or she didn't. Oh, you wanted a nun. Oh, you wanted a hoe. The woman will always be thinking. So here's the thing. Some people are blessed to work through that, and marriages are a place to work through that. But if you're just in a dating relationship and a person cheat, I say get out. And I say, if you're the cheater, I say stop before you find the one, the love of your life, and now you still have cheating in you. I thank God that first marriage never cheated. After the first marriage, never cheated. This new and my final and the real one, not gonna cheat.
So
Now,
I've never cheated on anyone. However, I do think that fidelity is a practice, just like being, untruthful, being a philanderer. Those are practices and habits that you develop. And I don't want to have that kind of struggle. So if you've never been faithful and then you pop up at 40 and you decide to be faithful or monogamous, how do you change that? Do you know what I mean? Because you don't just slip and fall. There are signs and cues, and you take certain steps before you end up naked with somebody,
mhm,
right? So like there's certain energy. I know some guys will say, I don't want a girl who's up in everybody's face, who's too friendly.
mhm.
Do you know what I mean?
I
Because that will lead to other things
I do.
sometimes,
Mhm.
right? So my face is set on New York screw face. Don't come talk to me if I don't know you.
Mhm. I questioned for a couple of months if I was poly because I am of the belief, and I'll just say this: I am a believer of Jesus Christ. I was a missionary for about 7 years, and that doesn't go
Mm.
away, right? So, with that being said, I feel like we're talking about like cheating and things like that. A lot of these words and secular things that we say are reserved for like marriage. You are
Mhm.
single. And if you decide to go ahead and be with somebody else, then it really is your prerogative to do that. And then you've really essentially ended that relationship. By you going back and confessing, you're trying to see if the person would, really take you back. And if that person chooses and they aren't your appointed spouse, if they choose to take you back, that is a very long and very difficult thing to do. It is possible. I've heard of people who have done it. And you have to, marriage is for adults. Relationships also are for adults. Now, somebody said something about agape love. Somebody said that we are to aspire to be like God. I am here to tell you that unless you are planning to die on the cross and rise again, I have one time in my life given the wrong person agape love. And I feel like that type of me doing that, when the person just kept on and kept on, it was for me. I would love to be, and I will be able to give someone agape love that deserves it. Agape love is given to somebody who is willing. If we're talking about, religion, you are surrendering yourself. You are asking, you are repenting. And repenting means literally cutting it off, being transparent. If the right hand offends you, you are cutting it off. You aren't going anywhere. If it was the gym, guess what? I'm sorry. You're going to be working outside. You're going to be looking on YouTube doing the gym because you are now cutting it off, because you can't sit there and ride the treadmill without looking at behind and getting a number and smashing her in the bathroom. You
But if
cut it
you want
off.
to talk, if you want to talk about, it being confined to marriage, I think you also should consider that the Bible does say, "Let your yea be yea and your nay be nay."
Yes.
So if you have set up boundaries within a relationship, whether platonic or romantic, you should honor that, right?
Yes. Mhm.
So while I do agree that the Bible doesn't address dating, but
Mhm.
you should still be a man or woman of your word.
It's practice beforehand.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel so bad for celebrities that they get pregnant, then they get married, and that whatever. But if you're dating somebody who is a rock star, who is going to the strip club, having orgies and all the other things, and then now you want to get, and you expect him, and you're mad because he's cheating on you, you have to practice that. Now, Dave, we talked about a couple of days ago about the Megan Good relationship. She was only 30 days in. She really didn't have enough practice. I mean,
Yeah, her celibacy journey. Her
yeah,
celibacy journey.
it's and it's kind of like one day is celibacy, 2 days you really are, but there ain't nothing like when you sitting up here like somebody I know at a $1.25, you know,
Right.
564 days, and you ain't got no eggplant. You said no several times. You said no to a guy you like. You said no
Yeah.
to a guy that you were really, really kind of wanting to, just because, you know, you've done this, and it becomes you're accustomed to saying no.
So jumping in there, when it comes to like celibacy, and when it comes to cheating, and when it comes to like loyalty,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this: cheating can be similar to addiction, alcohol addiction, drug addiction, sex addiction, gambling addiction. Right? Some people like the excitement, and they never address their problem,
Mhm,
and so therefore they're never ready to
mhm,
handle
mhm,
the right one.
mhm,
So, yeah, you mess up when you're 19, but do
mhm.
you ever address the problem and work
The
on it
re-
so
mhm.
that when you get married at 28, you can be faithful? And I'm talking about me,
Yeah.
right? I thank God, and I sleep well at night. I
Mhm,
never cheated on my
mhm,
ex-wife.
mhm.
You know,
Or
I
anybody,
never
you said, or
or
any
anybody
relationships.
since
Yeah.
college.
Yeah.
But I'm saying when it counted, like you're married, you took vows. Not that relationships don't count, but I'm saying as a man, you're gonna marry somebody, you better be faithful, right?
Mhm.
I thank God that I sleep well at night, that I never cheated on my ex-wife, right? I never did. Thank God, you know? Um, didn't hit my ex-wife because I don't hit women, right? I didn't drink back then at all. Now I have a little red cup.
Mhm.
But
Hey.
back then I didn't do nothing,
Mhm.
right?
It's a
I didn't
practice.
get and that's what and Sophie, that's what I'm saying.
It's
And
wipe on, wipe off, wipe
and I'm
on,
speaking
wipe
to the
off.
men right now. I'm speaking to the men right now.
Mhm.
Men, we can't be out here hoeing and getting with 304s, and then all of a sudden I'm gonna be faithful when I get married. Okay. You need a time period where you sit your ass down. You need a time period, even if you do have a moment where, oh, I'm sowing my wild oats. You know, I'm like Wilt Chamberlain. I'm smashing everything in sight. Granted, I'm not saying that men don't do that because they do. I did that when I got divorced for a little bit. But I had to cut that BS off. And at 47, I
Sorry,
got
what'd
sick
you
and
do?
tired.
You
Hmm?
said, what do you do? What'd you
Out
do?
and what did I do? I was smashing everything that came my way. I was hitting every pitch thrown to me, hitting home runs,
Okay.
and I had to stop. And at 47, I said, I'm never gonna find a relationship if I keep having situationships.
Mhm.
So at 47, I stopped, and I ain't find my destiny until I was 49. And if you really want to go back to when I got divorced at 35, I ain't find my destiny for 15 years. So
It takes time and practice,
that's
and
my
I'm
point. It
not,
takes
you
time
know,
and practice.
everybody has their life journey, and a lot of these things, you know, for those, I really, really, really admire and respect those people who have been cheated on and you're still with your partner. And I've been in those environments where they're sitting there and like, yeah, my wife cheated on me or my husband cheated on me, and they're able to sit there and say, yeah, it's tough. You know, it's sometimes it's a daily situation or maybe a yearly or situation, you know, thing, but we just talk about it. And again, I'll continue to say that you have to be humble, transparent, try and find the source of it so that you can help your partner. Because now you've hurt your partner, and now you have to switch that to helping your partner deal with what you did. And going back to the original clip, Marvin the way that that was presented, it looks as if he did harm, and then now he's expecting for like it's a jail sentence. Like, I did my time, I'm done. It doesn't work that way. Yeah, you could have, let's say you molested somebody or you had a DUI and you served 10, 15 years. You are still flagged. You still had to, there's still a repercussion for your action.
Yeah.
And it seems like that cheaters want to avoid that. They don't want to have to deal with the insecurity. It makes them uncomfortable, and it's the sin, or it's the whatever this, I don't know what y'all call it. I call it sin, but it's because you have you broken trust with somebody, and now my reaction to it is making you uncomfortable. So his opening statement, if you don't mind playing it again, is, I'm going to leave. And what did he say? I'm going to go somewhere else.
I love you too, but I can't deal with this.
Not that part. That's the gaslighting. You can
Where are you going?
Bring it back to the
You know
front.
what? I'm going somewhere where I'm appreciated. I'm not going to keep paying for a past mistake that I made. I've changed. I paid the price for the mistakes I made. And if you continue to convict me, you're convicting an innocent person. I'm not the same man. Me going to the gym should not be a threat to you. Me being promoted in my job shouldn't be a threat to you. Me getting a new car should not be a threat to you. I feel like I'm sleeping with the fucking enemy. I don't understand why you're here if you don't want to make shit work. It's like you're staying just to make me pay. If you're here, then you got a responsibility to do your part. Otherwise, be woman enough to leave. I'm out of here, baby. I love you too, but I can't deal with this.
And go on, get on.
Hold on.
Where are you going?
You know what? I'm going somewhere where I'm appreciated.
Hold on.
Pause.
I'm not going to keep paying for a past mistake that I made. I've changed.
Hold up. I gotta say something. Sophie. He said a lot,
And
but he's right. He's right about this.
Mhm.
I can't keep paying for a mistake I made. I paid my debt. Just hear me out Sophie, hear me out for a moment.
I'm listening.
If a person commits a crime and goes to jail and pays their debt to society and they get out, why the fuck are we still penalizing them? They paid their debt. They did their 10 years, whatever. They paid their restitution. So why can't we allow them to go get a job, to be a productive citizen? Just hear me out. I know y'all gonna take it. Y'all gonna take it to the extreme.
Don't do that. Don't do that. We haven't said nothing.
All right, so then let me finish then. I'm ignoring because look, you over here like this.
Yeah. I'm having a reaction.
Okay, so I'm ignoring your reaction.
Having a
I'm
reaction.
putting my shades on and I'm gonna talk.
In all seriousness, I don't have to offend you, but I'm having a reaction and I'm trying to compose myself.
Okay.
I repent. I repent, and I'm gonna grovel. Dave, I am so sorry that I am making faces.
Carol, you too quiet. You all the way in.
Because I'm ready to respond.
Yeah, so we're just patiently waiting.
Okay, so let me finish. Let me land my plane.
Okay.
Matter of fact, let me take my host. Let me do what I gotta do. Yeah. Let me do this. Yeah. How about that? All right. Y'all are still here. But let me land the plane. If a man or a woman commits a sin, commits a crime, and then they pay their debt to society, they pay their debt to the spouse, and the debt could be, hey man, I cheated in year 1. I've been faithful for the next 5 years. I've been faithful for the next 10 years. I've gone to classes. I've gone to church. I've gone to church counseling. I've gone to therapists. I've done 10 steps, 12 steps. Hop, skip, and a jump. I did it all. And I done got on the show and the podcast and confess my sins and confess my love. I done slapped women. Get your ass away from me. I'm a married man. You dirty bitch. Excuse my language. Okay, I'm being colorful for a minute for a reason. But I do all of that. When is it over? I'm asking Sophie and Kara, I'm looking dead in the camera, and I'm asking my guest panelists, when is it over? Because if it ain't never over, then guess what, Kara? You should have did what you said in the first place. Break up with the man and be like, you know what, Dave? You know what, Marvin? F you, Joker. You ain't nothing. You ain't never gonna be nothing. Nobody ain't coming to see you, Otis. And just break up with him.
First of all, I won't be cursing at him. Like I said, there'll be no conversation. Okay. You might even get an email. All right. I'm out of there. You might just come home and the lights will be off and I flick one on and I'm going to let you know it's done. Okay. But you talked about somebody serving their sentence and when they get out, getting a job. But why that's flawed is because there are consequences after a prison sentence. Okay. You have difficulty getting housing. You are unable to vote. You cannot carry a firearm. There's a number of issues once you have a conviction on your record. So, but me, I'm out of there. Okay. There's no more you and I. It's not a conversation. I ain't got nothing for you, partner. I wish you well. You know what I mean? I don't have any energy for you. I have no conversation for you. You will figure it out on your own. Okay. You and your friendly penis. Okay. And
Not friendly penis.
I mean, what are we talking about? I just don't care. I don't care. But I will say, I think the difference for me is my life is very full. I have great family and friends. I've got a great support system.
Right.
And so I feel like a whole person without anyone.
So you're saying that though, he cheats, and you letting him know, bro. You know what? I ain't got no time for this BS, right?
Yeah, but we would have had this conversation before we even got engaged. Now you might not believe me, but I've dated people, and this is what it is. I'm not gonna keep repeating myself about certain things,
Right.
And they don't believe it until I'm gone, and then it's, oh well, baby, sir, stop calling from different numbers, please. You're filling up my voicemail box. I have business to conduct. Okay.
Yeah. If I may speak. Okay. That is the I think there's a lower percentage of women. I think now in 2024, more women with all of the podcasts like Dave's that are educating us on our self-worth and educating us to just jingle our keys and leave. But there is a group of women, especially the younger and some of the older in between, that have stayed and tried because we didn't know better. And we tried and we found ourselves doing the same things where we're questioning a job move. We're questioning the work wife. We're questioning the gym, all those things. And it becomes a learned behavior. My concern is the audacity. So let's go ahead and remove. I think the talking about dating may be sensitive for some people. We're all reflecting on our personal situation. But let's talk about Geico, State Farm, different insurance companies. I am a super speeder. And because of that, in order to become a super speeder, you have to have several infractions of the same thing, right? So then there's something called NOLO. Come on, Kara. There's things that you can plead no contest. And then when you do that, that means you've never done it before. And you're saying that it's never going to happen again. And I can't try you for that same thing if you've never done it. With the insurance example, if you have sped 1 year, you skip a year, your insurance is going to go up. You can go a whole year, 2 years, 3 years. And after I think it's like 7 years, then I think it drops off,
Yeah.
And they give you that time. So why in a human relationship with a live person who can make that, you're expecting 6 months? You're expecting a blue heart. Come on now. Y'all seen the clip. You're expecting, because you're sending her blue hearts for 21 days, that's going to take care of you making a baby on me or you cheating on me. Even in the law of nature, if there's a hurricane, all the trees are wiped down.
Yeah, there's consequences.
Yeah, there's consequences. Even God himself wiped out the earth.
Agreed. But I want to say something.
Time to grow back.
Destiny said there are criminal penalties, but also societal. And I respect that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Maybe
we're acting like we don't respect it. We're acting like then you should leave. We're acting as if
hold on.
I can carry a firearm if I want to.
Hold on.
And you should let me.
No. What we're saying, well, let me speak for David. What David is saying is, if you're not gonna forgive me, then I need you to be like F you. Like it's either F you or it's, you know what? I'm gonna work towards forgiveness, and eventually, hopefully, I can forgive. Because if you come at me like I want to stay with you, Dave, you made a grave mistake. I love you. I'm gonna stay with you. And we're gonna work towards forgiveness, then I'm in good faith believing, okay, let's stay together because she's gonna work on forgiving and I'm gonna work on never committing that sin again. But if you know you can't do it, I'd rather you pull a Kara and be like, bro, nope.
You don't know you can't do it until you're
Hold on.
separate.
But see, that's the problem. And that's the problem. Because you have people like Kara that knows they can't do it and they gonna be up front and be like, hey bro, I can't do it. And then you got people that's gonna dip and sip and play and say, knowing good dang on well that they really ain't built like that. And they really, but the reason they don't leave is because they don't want to be by themselves. You know, I'd rather be with him because at least I got him and he's mine. I'm going to penalize him. I don't trust him. I need to look his location. I need to see where he's at. I need to do all this stuff. But I'd rather do that than be by myself. But then you got those women that say, hey man, fuck that nigga. I'm out. Excuse my language. I'm out. I don't care. Once a cheater, always a cheater. I would rather a woman be hardcore like that. Because if you hardcore, then maybe that'll give me a wake-up call to go get my life together with God and not be a cheater anymore. And maybe I will find my destiny. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, how old was I? 31 years later.
I think for me, but this is not just in romantic relationships, it's platonic friendships. When I realize I've gotten to a point that it's too much or whatever the situation is or not enough, I'm going to pull that Band-Aid off. Now, am I going to be sad? Am I going to cry? I mean, I was in the tub boo-hooing. I took a couple international trips. I mean, because I love this man. But I'm going to tell you who I love more, baby girl. Me, okay? And I don't want to become insecure and second guessing and checking. I don't have the energy. My edges can't take it, okay? I'm not interested. I just know for me, I don't have the capacity to do the work and I'm unwilling to do that kind of work. I'd rather for my peace matters so much to me. I mean, if my mom's disturbing my peace, she's going to hear it. Anybody. I am unable. I'm unwilling. And so I'm going to pull the Band-Aid off, cry me a river, do all the things, feel better about myself and move on.
At least you know that about yourself.
Yeah, and not very many women do. So that's why I am, your sister in that now, but I have been in situations where everybody plays the fool and there's no exception to the rule where you try. And then because you try or you've heard or you've seen or observed that, hey, I don't want to have to go through that. I don't like how that looks. I don't like how that feels. And then last thing, I know our time is about to close. I'd like to leave you with Alcoholics Anonymous. And if you have an alcohol problem, I would suggest that you go and get help for drinking. And there's something that's called this, I think it's 7 steps. And they tell you in Alcoholics Anonymous, once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. Once a cheater, always a cheater. You always have the potential to cheat. The situation that makes you somebody who is recovered cheater Kara said she's never cheated, so she's not a recovering cheater. Dave said that he has cheated before, so he's a recovered cheater. I am a recovered cheater. Is you learn how to remove yourself from situation, places, or things that will cause temptation. You're honest with yourself. You know your limitations. You know whether or not to give a phone number or to take one, whether to look and look off. You learn all of those things and you are whole with it. And then you don't do them. So then
I
now
ain't
you
no
are
recovered cheater.
recovered
I'm gonna
cheater.
jump in. You know
So,
why? I
okay,
ain't no
jump
recovered
in.
cheater. I'm gonna jump in and I'm using my podcast host. I can jump in card. I'm using it. You know why? Because behold, I do a new thing. I'm a new creature in Christ. I ain't no recovered cheater. That was the unsaved, unrepentant, uncleaned up. I rebuke the devil in the name of Jesus.
Mhm.
Devil is a liar. I ain't no recovered cheater. I'm a new creature in Christ.
Mhm.
I am not no cheater. Old things are passed away. All things are new. And you know what I want to tell y'all about them 12-step programs? You know what the first step is? You need to believe that there's a higher power. You need to believe that there's the God of your choice. The God of your understanding, excuse me, the God of your understanding about them 12-step programs. The God of my understanding said, behold, I do a new thing. Don't you be laughing at me, Kara, rhymes with Sarah.
Listen,
I'm a new creature. And I mean
you're gonna
that.
be anybody cheat on me, you're gonna be a new creature in your new relationship.
Exactly.
She got rid of me. I had to become a new creature. Yes, I'm not. All things are passed away. Behold, all things are new. I ain't no. And I'm gonna tell you, hey, all you have to do is admit, hi, y'all. My name is Sophie, and I'm a cheater. My name is Dave, and I'm a cheater.
No, the first step is to
Hey,
admitting
I'm
that
good.
you are powerless against temptation without whatever your higher power is. Then the second step is that you have to believe that there's a greater power above yourself that can restore you. You know, there's nothing that, yes, you are a sinner that has been saved. It doesn't negate that you didn't sin. It isn't all
but I
sins
wanna
are
say
washed
something.
away. You
I
are a
agree.
sinner that now has been saved. So I'm not going to front like, oh, I'm
Agree,
never.
but
No, you were a
but
cheater,
this is where we
and
mess
you
up.
are a recovered cheater.
This is where
Therefore, you don't
mess
cheat.
up.
You don't got your chips. You got
This
your
is where we mess
chips.
up.
Who
This is
were
where
we
we mess
messed
up,
up, or
Sophie.
were you finna mess up?
Yes. No. This is where we mess up. I'm with you. I'm gonna
Mhm.
go on mute. Hold on. I'm gonna mute you guys so I can speak without the echo. Sophie, this is where we mess up as believers. Yes, we are sinners saved by grace. Yes, we are former cheaters and former gamblers. Yes, we are former drinkers and former fornicators. Yes. But when he does a new thing, we are a new creature. It says, old things are passed away and all things are made new. Now, I don't know what that means to you guys out here in the internet world. What that mean to Dave Life TV is all things are made new. Whatever happened is covered by the blood. And I'm not joking, but I'm using my platform, Sophie, and I'm being serious here. We really got to understand that that's the difference between mankind and God. When God forgives, he forgives and he forgets, and it's thrown into the sea of forgetfulness. 70 times 7. It is so far down. Like when Christ forgives us, it's over. And I know y'all know that. I know y'all know that, right? I know we all know that. We all have read the Bible. We know that. But I'm saying we really got to hold on to that because we struggle in sin because we still dealing with sin. But when God says the addiction's gone and you believe it, guess what? The addiction's gone. And there's no more. Ask a drug addict that's been delivered by Christ. When it's gone, it's gone. We over here play tiddlywinks with the devil and we entertain. Oh, I'm a former addict. I'm always going to be an addict. I'm going to be an addict till the day I die. The devil is a liar. I'm not. And I mean that. And I hope that people can believe that for themselves, because once you believe that, then God can do miracles in your life. And I'm not being funny. I know we kind of tongue in cheek. We're having fun. It's a podcast. It's entertainment, and there's an entertainment aspect to it. I get that part, but I just really wanted to say that When it comes to them 12-step programs, the first step is acknowledging the God of your understanding. And that God, at least the God I serve, said, behold, old things have passed away, all things are made new. So that David that did that at Freaknik don't exist no more.
Okay, so
No?
if you feel by the comments that I made, they were not directed to you personally. I appreciate, you kind of clarifying your feelings of it, but I still stand on, if you have done something wrong, whether you call it sin, alcohol, or cheating, that's what you have done. Of course, if you have healed from it, repented, then you have, and you've been forgiven. All that is good and great. To act as if, or to say as if that because you've confessed it and you've been saved, that it means that you didn't do it. You did do it, and because you did do it, it behooved you, or it admonished you to now become somebody who is a new creature. So you can't say that person is not there. That person is still there, but you have now killed that person. And yes, you are new, but you did do the thing that you did. And it's not anything personal. It's in a
Amen.
general state,
Amen.
because I do, understand and know how to divide the word, eat the word, and to reflect the word. And I'm not saying anything to anybody specifically. I'm just saying as a
Amen.
general umbrella. And, and that's just what I have to say about that. Cheating is wrong.
And that's so important because guess what? And this is going back to Marvin Simmons and his skit.
Mhm.
This is going back to men who've actually cheated, like I did in college. The truth is, Sophie, we did sin. The truth is, we did cheat.
Mhm.
And the truth is, we hurt a woman that loved us dearly by cheating. And so you're right. You can go get sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, with the evidence of speaking in tongues.
Mhm.
You can do all that. You still hurt somebody. You still cheated. And you still got to go through the consequences of cheating, whether you stay with her or not. So I want to make that very clear too. I'm not negating the human aspect of hurting people and sinning and cheating. Because guess what? You got to deal with those consequences. Sophie, if you and I were married and I cheated on you, I don't care how much I got filled with the Holy Ghost. I don't care if I was speaking in tongues. I don't care if I was praying and people were getting slayed in the spirit. I don't care if I lived 10,000 Christ in a day. When I go home, I'm still the husband that cheated on Sophie, his wife. And therefore, whatever Sophie feels, I, as husband, I got to eat it. And I got to be like, all right, this is what my wife needs. This is what we got to go through, because even though I did it when I was a heathen.
Well, yeah, if in that scenario, you wouldn't be going through anything, because, and at least not with me, because I would feel sorry for you, because my belief is that you cheat yourself, because now you're going to have to live with the guilt that you harmed a good woman. That's all on you. When people get married, you have to be a whole person. And I'm a whole person. And if I was married to somebody and they cheated on me, I feel sorry for you, because that's a burden that you're going to have to carry. That's a loss that you're going to have to deal with, because I'm with Team Kara. It's over. We are too old and too grown to have to deal with somebody who has not healed their 14, 16-year-old, self, that can't come to me and say, baby, I am struggling right now. There's this woman at my job, and, we work together, and she does something. I'm not sure what it is, but what do you think? And you're being open and honest, so that you don't accidentally fall, and we're working on it together. Okay, well, babe, what you want? You want to call me at lunch? Yeah. Or you know what? I'm gonna go eat in my car. And we're working and we're laughing. After a while, it becomes a joke. We're like laughing about it. Yeah, there goes that BBL or whatever it is. We laugh at it. And I can help you through that. But when you've done it, you are gonna have to go through all of that. And I really don't have the capacity. Maybe 20 years ago, I may have thought that I would have the capacity.
Right.
Now it's like, respectfully, ain't nobody got time for that. There is somebody out there who was healed, whole, and saved, and delivered.
Yes.
And delivered, because they did it when they were younger. When I was a child, I acted like a child. I thought like a child. And when I became a man, I put away childish things. And that's the point that I want to give to you. And I was patiently waiting that, yeah, I'm not saying that you're a sinner. In no way that I'm trying to say that you're a cheater, but you've put away childish things. And the Lord has given you the desires of your heart. And just so happenstance called her destiny. So it all comes full
by
circle.
accident.
And had you not cheated, you would have been like, well, I never cheated. And then when it came to you, you probably would not have known what to do or what it feels like to look at somebody that you cared about. But since you did it at a young age, you were able to go through all the rigmarole. And then now, because you're a man, you put it away, you're able to go ahead and say, now I know for sure I don't want to go through that.
And I want to just make it clear for the crowd. I cheated in college.
Yeah.
I was a new believer. I didn't know much about being loyal and fidelity. But by the time I got married 9 years later, I never cheated. And now we're 15
Wait,
years.
let's drop the bomb for that. Come on now. Come on. You got to hype yourself up now, Dave. Come on now. Yes.
And it's not that I'm it's not that I'm not tooting myself. I'm not tooting my horn. It's really God that kept me, because even in the first marriage, there was a lot of ups and downs. And don't think the enemy didn't whisper in my ear, oh, such and such might be a better option.
The 20%.
Right.
The 20%.
I was like, bro, I'm married. I don't care what the option is. I'm married. And I sleep well at night knowing that I never cheated and I never we had irreconcilable differences from a argument standpoint, but we never had a biblical basis to divorce in terms of cheating, in terms of domestic violence, or in terms of addiction. We never had that. We just argued. And I'd like to say I didn't file.
Okay.
I ain't started, but I ended.
What God has put together, no man can put asunder. Sometimes some people, you may think that you're praying and all that other stuff and that this is the person, but sometimes you're not listening to the Lord. And the Lord is my understanding is he's not against divorce. A lot of times some people who are married, they were not married truly under the umbrella that some believe of God. You like this person, you like that person, their financial, whatever it is, it matches, you get married, and then you realize that it isn't. Marriage is for adults. And sometimes I've heard about the yin and the yang, and it still works. So, with all relationships, it definitely is something that people should think about getting counseling. I would suggest, a marriage counselor to really, and then also each parties to have their own separate counselor, their own separate times to really deep dive and reflect on these things. Because once there is something about once you say I do, that you look at everything differently. And
go ahead. Kara had her hand up.
So regarding, the sea of forgetfulness and washing away your sins, it's going to wash away the relationship. Okay. It's going to be like, it never happened. I'm done. Now I take pride in what the value I bring to a partner. Like, I like to think of myself as a kingmaker. I'm going to help you become step into your greatness, right? So you are going to be a better man as a result of your association with me, period. So if you're going to jeopardize that and allow some scallywag that only likes you because of what I've helped you become, then go on, sir. You and her going to get washed away, and I'm going to keep moving. So I think sometimes men and some women have to recognize that you're only wanted because of what your partner has invested into you. So if someone only wants you because you're somebody else's, have to recognize. So that's on that.
Standing on business. I am not a
Hold on. I had to go ahead and post that. I said, ladies, are you a kingmaker or a king breaker?
I'm neither.
Well, I would propose that you wanted the other. And let me finish. And I'm not talking about you, Sophie, because I want to make this clear to the crowd. We use a lot of examples here on Dave Life After Dark to speak to the masses. Now, granted, I will get personal and I'll tell you about personal anecdotes of my life. You know, Sophie and Kara, to whatever extent, will give you personal anecdotes of their life, right? But we're doing this to help the masses. So I'm not talking to Sophie when I say, are you a kingmaker or a kingbreaker? I'm talking to the camera and I'm talking to the people that are listening. I'm talking to you, listener, and specifically, lady listeners, lady lifers. Are you a kingmaker or a kingbreaker? And hear me out. So, Sophie, a man cheats early on, and a woman has a decision. Am I going to stick with him or am I going to not? I would say this to the lady whose partner cheated. If you ain't built for the long haul in terms of building him up and making him a king and restoring that man, then tell him straight up, hey, bro, I can't do it. I'm out. Because I'm going to go find my destiny. And it's a man out there named Destiny that I'm going to go find. And he's my king. I'm going to go find him. Or if you do feel you have the constitution and you're built like that, you could say, you know what, baby? You was in Lodi Bar and you was hanging out with the chef. Y'all go look it up. And you was just in the dirt. But I see the king in you and I'm going to raise you up. I speak life into you. And I'm going to bring you out of the muck and the mire. And I'm going to do my part is to help me and help you become who you need to be. Some women are able to do that. Some women are able to do that. And I'm not signifying. Because if a woman can't do that, that's okay. All I'm saying is know thyself, ladies, and say, I can handle this, I can build you up, and I'm staying with you, and you my man. Or, you know what? Nigga, you tripping, I'm done. Get out of here. I'm gonna go find my king. But don't be in the middle. Be in the middle don't help you, and be in the middle don't help her. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. And I muted everybody because I heard the echo too. For the men, bruh, if you mess up when you're young and you're in college and you're a freaknik, get your life together. Freaknik 93 does not define you. Big booty bitches does not define you. And I excuse my language, ladies, I don't use that word. But I'm saying that to the Negroes that are listening to me right now. It's a nigga on YouTube. It's a nigga on Instagram. They need to hear it just like this. Big booty bees don't define you, sir. Move past that and walk into your destiny and find your calling in Christ and become the man who you're supposed to be. When you were a child, you did childish things. We did that mess as children. Let it go. Because what you don't want to happen is your destiny show up and your character can't handle the capacity of what God has given you. You don't want that. You don't want that, men. Get out the game if you ain't ready. I'm done. That's it. All right, ladies. I'm off. I'm gonna let y'all talk.
I'm out. I keep coming back to that. I think I have such confidence in the value that I bring to any relationship, romantic or otherwise. You have behaved in a manner that has showed me that you don't understand what you have or you don't value it or whatever the case may be. I don't care. I don't care at all. I'm going to be sad and I will get over it and I'm going to move on. I also don't feel that I'm defined by my relationship status. I am not a queen because I have a king. I'm a queen because I am.
Now, may I ask you, with the kingmaker, because when you said it, I was like, oh, because I received that as like I have to make a king. I feel like if you're a queen is not going to go for somebody who she has. I don't know if it was the way it was worded, but you'd want a king. and then you want to enhance that king because he's already a king. It just you want to elaborate on the kingmaker, or that's just how I was receiving it. Like,
So
here you go,
when
big
I
man.
now I don't build a bear. We're not doing that. I don't build a bear.
Go ahead.
When I say I'm a kingmaker, I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to help him become greater than I found him.
Okay.
Period.
So he's
I'm
already
going to help. Yes, I'm going to help enlarge his territory. I'm going to help improve his life. I'm going to be a support, but I'm also an entrepreneur, right? So
Yes.
whatever skill set this man has,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to help expand it.
Okay.
That's just
Enlarge
my
his
nature.
territory. The prayer of Jabez. Come on. I'm sorry. I heard the word. Enlarge his territory.
Around
Period.
and everything.
Come on.
Period. You know,
do
and
y'all
he
know that
has-
Kara and Dave are in the same vicinity right now? I know we talked about like an hour or so ago. They're in the same vicinity right now. So I just want to remind y'all, when he's looking that way, he's looking at her because I'm not there. I'm just the third wheel.
You're
Yeah.
not the third wheel. No,
And
but
then-
that's just how my mind works. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, not everybody wants that kind of support or isn't ready for it. And I'm fine with that. Do you know what I mean? But that's something you kind of figure out pretty early on. I am absolutely there to help, support, expand, improve, encourage, pick him up, make him laugh. Like, but that's just my nature. Do you know what I mean? So it's not to say that he is any less than when I meet him, because he's got to come with something at this stage of my life. But whatever he has, I look forward to multiplying it. That's it.
Yeah, and that's what kings do. So thank you for clarifying the king maker. Because I know with kings and kingdoms, as we are both queens, and we know with kings, a king has to have like a legacy. He has to have a partner to, procreate with if they choose to do that. And then oftentimes when he gets a queen, she comes with land, money, whatever it is that she just comes with that, and she makes him greater. So we do make an already established king even greater when you partner and when you yoke with them. Talk about yoking, it is literally, you can't have an ox and a donkey. It has to be the same type of animals that can pull the load that they're projecting, that they're planning before them.
Yeah, I think it's also men don't have the same outlets and support as women do, built into their friendship. So,
Yep.
Sometimes the world can get them down, and they need the encouragement to keep dreaming, and like the audacity to think that they can do whatever the goal is, or like dream bigger. We can do X, Y, and Z, or don't pay them no mind. You know what I mean? Like they need that that
push,
second person. Yeah.
the person in their ear. And then of course, once you find your king, you leave and cleave, because at that point, mama used to do it, or sister or whatever. But when you have your wife, then now I'm the person that can, be your sounding board to support you. And I'm not saying by any means, I know you're gonna be in the comments, like we got to build, and we're not saying that we're building a man. It's somebody who was already of a kingdom mindset. Because I had to clarify, because the date put out there, I had to clarify. It is an already established king. And just like all kings, when he gets a wife, it comes with money, land, and expanding, like you said, the territory. And you only, some of them can't even do certain things. They're actually, I think it was somebody in the Bible, how he had to go out and find a wife. It was Eleazar. Yes, Eleazar had to go out and find his master, a king, a queen. So that he could really be the true king that he needed to be. So,
But also for me, like, I'm not going to enter into a serious relationship with someone unless I see myself wanting to do that stuff for him. If I don't even want to do it for you, I don't respect you to a certain extent. Something's missing for me. Maybe somebody else will see it in you and help you out and do all these things for you. But if I'm not even interested in that, no, thank you.
So if a man were to tell you, you meet a king and he has sold his royal oats, and he tells you, hey, I've cheated before on women, and he's telling you, I've done it before, of course, not on you. what are your thoughts with people who have, because I know you're not a cheater, and
Mhm.
that's for not doing that. That really is a really, really cool thing. That's a topic. But when someone says, "Hey, I have cheated," what are some of the questions that you ask to validate that? How do I know you wouldn't do it to me? Like, what are some of the questions, or do you have questions that you ask who have cheated?
First of all, it's no matter how many questions I ask, nothing's guaranteed, right?
Mm,
Like it's a risk.
mm,
Even if they've never cheated before, life can happen. You know, being out of a job could be the thing that turns them
mhm,
to be unfaithful for the first time, or you know,
mhm,
whatever the case may be.
mhm.
Their dream girl pops up, some celebrity, and they just couldn't resist.
Okay.
So I'm definitely going to ask questions and see what the communication is like. But I'm
Mhm,
also like an open communicator. I prefer to know what's going on. So if you see a girl and you find her attractive, like I don't have a problem talking about it. It's when people are secretive and don't want to be honest about things. So it's a case by case situation. I'm not going to rule someone out. Hold on one second. I feel like somebody got locked out. Bear with me.
okay. David, he already went to the restroom.
Yeah. So I'm not going to rule somebody out just because they cheated. But if they cheated 2 months ago,
Uh-huh.
go play with somebody else,
Or if
please.
they're cheating, like you mentioned, if they're cheating on someone to talk to me.
Mhm. Yeah, I can't really. I'm not comfortable with that. I can't
Yeah.
trust it. You will then put me in a situation to be looked at as if I was a willing participant. You
Mhm,
know, I'm out.
mhm. That's fair. That's fair. I was just curious on,
Mhm.
you know, I I actually kind of, I don't want to say prefer, but it helps me at least feel a little calmer if someone was saying, like how Dave said, yeah, I've cheated before. I've been there, done that. I hated, and for me, when I cheated, when I was again like younger, I hated that feeling. Like the lying and just you're hurting a good person, and that person has no idea, and he never found out. You know, it's just a bad feeling. I don't like, and then I didn't like to feel like someone would do that to me. So that was my like cheat story. You know, I don't like that feeling. So I don't want to do it to anybody. And I had to like, and if I'm in a relationship and I feel like I'm not happy, and if it's going in a sexual way with me and maybe somebody else, which I don't even put myself in that situation, but if it were, we'd have to have that conversation that I feel like I want to see other people. That's what I'm not saying that I have seen other people, but I'm feeling like I want to see other people.
But for me, the desire to want to see other people, it means
Mhm.
that there's something off in a relationship, and I'm going to try and address it.
Yep. Mhm.
But if it's not getting fixed, I'm
Mhm.
out.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to allow a situation to turn me into a lesser version of myself.
Mhm. You would make a
Uh,
whole. You're not gonna make a whole out of me. You know. I like even having. Hey, there's this person at my job. We work closely together. I'm probably maybe overly transparent. I'm trying to figure out a way to kind of pull it back so that I'm not looking like, well, dang, are you a reform cheater? Because I am. But I like to be transparent. I do find
yeah.
someone so attractive, you know, I'm not gonna do anything. But yeah, if you ask me, I'm not gonna be like, nah, ew, yuck, 6'4", good job, my boss. No, no, ew, dark skin. No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say, yeah, I do find him attractive, but that's it. Just like I may see a car that drives by that's nice, but that's it. Don't mean I'm gonna go ahead and jump in it and drive off in it. So I'm just trying to be very self-aware. And if
Yeah.
someone were to ask me to be transparent, you
I want to
good?
say something about transparency, Sophie, and then we're going to close it out. First of all, shout out to all the lifers that are watching on Facebook right now. We're on Facebook Live,
Oh,
simultaneously broadcasting on YouTube Live, and we're also on Instagram Live. So shout out to all my Instagrammers. I see you, B Hop. I see you, SB Sweetheart. I see you, Big Vino. I see you, Michaela. I see all my lifers on Instagram. I encourage you to come to YouTube. Now, Sophie, we're about to close it out because the fact that I got locked out of the podcast room tells me we're past hours. But listen, shout out to God. You know why? Because it took us so long to set up the equipment, get the room, the lighting, set up the podcast equipment, use the microphone, because I want to show y'all something. They have a microphone here, but I wasn't able to get it to work. So I had to use my microphone.
Because you're always prepared.
Come on, Sophie.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Always has a backup. And what else you got, Dave? Because I heard you had a whole bunch of cords.
Listen, God don't want me to do it.
And by us, he means him, okay? Because all I did was sit down and sip my little wine.
But you know what, Kara? You had to end your day job. You had to fight the traffic. You had to get here. And I would like to say something. If you didn't know, now you know. California traffic can be a problem, and it can make you later than you think. So can I get some?
Is it worse than Atlanta, Kara? Is it worse?
Not worse than Atlanta. Atlanta's ridiculous. It's not worse than Atlanta.
I don't think it's, at least not. I can't speak for all of the area. I've only been in a short. I haven't gone through the entire SoCal, right? So my limited experience, I'm gonna say Atlanta's worse.
Okay. Atlanta's worse, Sophie. I went to high school and college in Atlanta. So a lot of my life from like 7th grade on was Atlanta. And then divorced on 15 years LA. And I went back to Atlanta to visit mom's over Christmas, right? And she got to meet Destiny. She was so happy when she met Destiny. They like besties. I love it. When your mother loves your fiance, won't he do it?
Won't he will?
Because I had other girlfriends my mom was not feeling at all. Anyway,
that's a talk, Dave.
Ain't it?
When do you bring your potential love interest to meet your family, or do you ever do that?
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you when. As a man, she meets the family when you know she the one. So Sophie, so Kara, so all the women in the ethos, that means if he's not initiating, hey, I want you to meet my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, if he not initiating it, you ain't the one. And hold on, let me find my information.
I'm tired of meeting people mamas, okay?
Exactly, because I feel like I got PTSD. These mamas in Atlanta, they be with the shits.
Let me say something. Hey, Instagram, I gotta say goodbye to y'all because I need my notes. So I need you to follow me. Everybody that's watching live on Instagram, follow me on YouTube / DaveLifeTV, all one word. You are missing so much. I'm gonna turn the camera around so y'all can see. We live. Look at this Instagram.
Hey, you guys, come over to YouTube. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell right there. Put comments down here. We would love to have you. Thank you for joining on Instagram. Come on over. We'll wait a few more minutes before they leave.
All right. I got to go Instagram. I'll see y'all next time. But if you're not following on YouTube, you're missing the full experience. All right. Peace. All right. So look, y'all, I want to say this, Sophie, and I know we got a little discard. I don't want to share. No, I don't want to learn more. Shit. Damn it. I'm trying to do this stuff. And here's the worst part. Here I am. Oh, I'm born again. I'm a believer. I'm saved. Destiny's families and friends are like, oh, David's a believer. Here I am on my podcast, cussing, getting mad, drinking.
He's human. Of course he's saved. Since when?
Since I was 19.
Yeah, since he was 19. And when were you born again?
21.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And 19, I gave my life. At 21, I rededicated, and it's been on and popping ever since. Jesus has been popping. As Country Wayne says, Jesus is popping since 19.
I love him.
I love Wayne. Country Wayne, if you want to ever come, and I know you have a lot to say. We had a Marvin, but you, Country Wayne, you got all them kids, and you have a lot to say, and I love what you say, and you're welcome to come and visit us here, because we would love to have you just to sit and just listen to what you have to say about dating relationships.
I want to say this to Sophie and Kara too, for real. Thank you guys. Let me take my glasses off because I need y'all to see my eyes.
See, that's serious. When a man, don't worry about having him meet your mama. When he takes off his shades, you sit up straight. Okay,
So
I'm listening.
let me say this
Kara,
to Sophie.
it's already on. So let's go ahead and straighten it because we've been laughing and giggling. I'm straightening my crown.
Get it right. All right.
We're in the king's throne.
As a matter of fact, Sophie and Kara, thank you for putting up with the technology problems. Thank you for putting up with the time zone problems. Thank you for putting up with Dave being a perfectionist and trying to get everything perfect before he goes live. Thank you for putting up with everything. So I just want to say to Sophie and Kara, while we on live, thank you. I appreciate you. You guys are lifers. You guys are guest panelists, but more than that, you guys are partners and friends when it comes to this podcast, and I see this as a ministry. So I want to say I appreciate you guys, and that doesn't take anything away from Corey, Tony, Al, Shaq, Sheena, or anyone else, that sacrifices, and everyone that was before we got to YouTube, Kevin, Amber, Steve, all the people that have supported me, as we keep going. That doesn't take nothing away from them. But I want to say to you guys, especially tonight, because tonight is the first night that we had someone live in studio. We ain't done this. But
So jealous.
listen, man, hold on, where is it? Hold on, look at Kara. I can hit her with a towel.
It's the abuse. It's the abuse. And it's morning time in Atlanta. I'm tired. But
That's too poor.
I can hit her with
So
a
what you're
towel.
saying, what we're hearing, Kara, is we are the first ladies. I'm sorry, Queen. We're the first ladies. Dave Life. Oh, we got a promotion. Oh my gosh.
Hey,
We're
I'm gonna say this, man.
Dave
I'm
Life
gonna be-
sweatshirts. Come on now. We're gonna be giving out chapstick. We're gonna be yes. Come on now. Yes, follow us. Please drop something in the chat, like and subscribe. I see that you guys have been viewing, and I told Dave a couple nights ago, I am not. How come they are not? They're viewing, but they aren't liking and subscribing. He can see. Dave is a perfectionist. He's looking at he don't really even. He's not focused on that. And I'm just speaking. He didn't ask me to do that. But please like and subscribe. We really enjoy the comments. We look back, we look at them. We are always, when I meet Dave, is always looking at what he can do better. He researches the content. We want to give you guys what you want to hear. You want to hear from just regular people, except for Kara. She jingles them keys. She is where a lot of us are. I'm trying to get there. I play the fool. I'm playing the fool right now. I got two brothers right now. I can't make up my damn mind. But Kara, we're gonna have to talk because you're gonna have to help me be focused.
See, I just can't. I mean, I can't unsee or unhear the truth. I can't.
Yeah, but I like rose-colored glasses. Mm-hmm. Like I can't even drink out of a regular tea. Look at it; it got roses in it. Look. I'm telling on myself.
That's why you see rose. That's why you see rose.
So I'm learning. I see you have pink. I used to love red. Y'all got red cups. Now, no red nails, no red flags. I am aware of them.
Hey, so remember last night you and I were talking about the show and aesthetics.
Yes.
And you were like, Dave, you got to get like a goblet or a cup or something that says Dave Life After Dark or Dave Life TV. Well, I want to say this, and Kara, grab your glass. The red cup is the first time.
Cup. Oh, you did.
On live. That's the first time.
In unison.
That's the first time. And I want to say too. I know there's an echo. I know, right? Tay Newsy said, "Hey Dave, there's a slight echo when you speak."
Because they're together. That's why it's been happening. If you've been hearing it the whole time, it's because they're in the same room
right
at
here.
the same damn time.
I can hit it with a towel. Yeah. So hold on, I'm gonna mute you two so I can speak just for a moment, okay? But y'all stay on camera. Tay Newsy, everyone that's watching, y'all, we are on episode 247. I remember Instagram when nobody looked at the content. I remember Instagram when nobody cared who Dave Life TV was and what he was talking about. And for us to be on episode 247, that's nothing but God. And for us to be on 247, and we now have a Dave Life TV studios in Southern California, that my queen, and my queen is Destiny Nadio. Let me not say her last name. Let me relax, because people niggas is crazy. My queen ain't been here yet. My queen was gracious enough. I said, hey, baby, are you okay if I invite Kara? She said, oh, no, I don't have a problem. She said, Kara don't strike me like that kind of girl. And she said, on top of that, I trust you. That's it. I said, come on, God. Come on, God. Not only she's fine and gorgeous and yeah, hold on. Okay, there we go. Not only she's fine and gorgeous and beautiful, but she's not insecure. Because I I know I'm gonna bring you guys back on the mic. You look, y'all, I've been through it. I was in a marriage prior. I couldn't do this. I couldn't have two beautiful, intelligent Black women online with me late at night talking about relationships, and one of them within arm's reach. I couldn't do that when I was married the first time, because there was no trust. There was no, but for Destiny to be like, baby, I trust you and I got your back and I know you're not going to do anything to violate me. Destiny told me, she said, baby, I know that you represent us now. You don't just represent Dave. It's not just Dave Life TV. It's actually David and Destiny, right? That's who I represent, Destiny and David. So I know, and this is for all of Destiny's church members, family, friends, all of my church members. You might see me have a sip. You might see me act a fool. You might see me clown. They don't take nothing away from my salvation. David is going to be David. I am not fake. I'm going to be who I am, on camera and off. That's just who I am. And I know how to cut it back and not curse. I know how to cut it back and not drink too much. I know how to do all of that. But sometimes for the show, you got to give them a little razzle dazzle. You know, Kara rhymes with Sarah. That's razzle dazzle. Rhymes with that whole. When we blow up Kara, they're gonna be like, I want to talk to Kara rhymes with Sarah. That's razzle dazzle.
Man, it was hell getting me on camera. I didn't want to participate.
Can we talk about that? So Sarah every week is 2 seconds from saying goodbye, David. Good night, Dave. Good night. Sorry, I don't have time.
And look at us now.
And look at us.
And look at us now.
Look at us now. All right, so look, I'm gonna let it rock out. Oh shit! Hold on, stop the music.
What is happening? Is that little Dave? Is that the little Dave coming? Because you know, baby Dave.
Stop the music. I'm trying to stop that mess.
What is happening right now? Okay.
It won't stop. I gotta let it play all the way through. So the Rodecaster Pro has some presets, and I guess that was their preset. It sounded like porn music. If I'm being honest, it do sound like porn. Listen. Oh, it's over. Thank God.
Okay.
You was asking for Baby Dave.
You was asking for this. No, we're not gonna do that no more. We just gonna relax and this sounds like something from Parliament Funkadelic. Let me see. Hold on. I'm gonna put y'all on mute since you asked for it, Sophie. Sophie, that girl. You asked for it. I'm gonna let y'all go. I promise. I'm gonna let y'all go. But let me just play some mood music for Baby Dave. Hold on. Yes. Okay. This is Dave Life. This is Dave Life. Actually, this is Baby Dave. And Baby Dave, if you were on Instagram, Baby Dave is a child that don't have no business being up at night. Y'all remember when David Chappelle was like, "What's up with you, baby? Why you out here selling?" Don't you dare. Don't point at me. I'm pointing. Hold on, I gotta do the opposite. I'm pointing at you, Sophie, that girl. You asked for Baby Dave. Okay? So look, I need y'all. Kara, relax. Relax. You in the Dave Life Studios with Baby Dave. I got you on mute. We can't hear nothing that you talking about. I'm drinking. I'm imbibing. Oh, come on. All right, let me quit playing with y'all. I'm gonna take Baby Dave and get him off the stage, and I'm gonna bring back your host, Dave Life After Dark. So the next voice you hear will be the voice of your host, Dave Life After Dark.
All right, we back. Sophie, so you brought up that. If anybody watches the old Instagram, then y'all know about Baby Dave. He's come in as comedy, you know what I'm saying, and make us laugh. So look, I was saying something serious, and I didn't forget my whole train of thought. I don't know where I'm at. But this is what I'm gonna do. Me and Kara rhymes with Sarah. We a good hour and a half over our time. But look at God. Not only has God given us a podcast studio, God has given us grace to allow us to go an hour and a half over our time. And that's okay. That's okay. Don't you dare yawn, Sophie. Wake up. Wake up. All right, y'all. We playing games, we laughing, but let's go ahead and end this. I know a lot of people have been watching. I know it's an echo, Sophie. My bad. I know it's an echo. Yeah, everybody noticed an echo. But okay. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna mute the ladies. I'm gonna give my last little bit of spiel, and then I'm gonna let you guys close it out with your final thoughts. Okay. Tonight we talked about do you want to relationship trauma? Do you want to stay and pray? Or are you going to basically make him stay and pay? And that was important because Marvin Simmons and his skit showed us that at some point a man will say, hey, I've paid my penance to you and to society. You know, I've kind of covered my debts. Are you going to ever forgive me? And that's important because, you know, and I know, Sophie, you had a lot to say about that, but I'm being real. It's better for a woman to be like Kara and say, I ain't doing this. I can't do it. I ain't with it. Than to be like, I'm going to try. And then for the next 5-10 years, you're just holding it over that man. If you can't get to your God and say, please change my heart and let me forgive this Negro. If you can't do it, just own it, ladies, and move on. Because it's better for you to move on and find a Negro that's not going to cheat on you. It's just better. It's just better. Okay. I want to read some of the notes now. You know what? This might constitute, ladies, another episode, but this is something that we didn't even get to today. Women need to take rejection better. There's so many women that when you reject them as a man, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. You say, hey, I'm not ready for a relationship. Hey, I'm not looking for a girlfriend. I'm not looking for a wife. Hey, you know what? I just want some coochie. Coochie. As someone would call it coochie. I don't know what that means. I just think of coon and coochie. And I don't know what coochie is. But some women are like, just tell me you want coochie. Okay? Hey, ladies, you're not everybody's cup of tea. Everybody don't like women that look like Kara that rhymes with Sarah. Everybody don't like women that look like that girl Sophie. And you know what? Every woman don't like men that look like DaveLifeTV. You know what? I had a woman tell me, and I'm gonna unmute y'all for this. Back when I was dealing with strippers, I had a stripper tell me, "You'd be perfect if you had a six pack." You know what I told her, Kara? I said, "You'd be perfect if you weren't a stripper." as I play the stripper music. Don't play with me. Tell me you'd be perfect if you had a six pack. Well, you'd be perfect if you wasn't a stripper. Since we signifying, I hope she hear this. Yes. I'm gonna be quiet because that's my past life.
I
But
just
if she feels stripping 15 years later, then guess what? She deserves that dig. Tell me you'd be perfect if you had a six pack. Guess what?
Let it go, Dave.
No, I gotta say this.
Look at the source, Dave. I think you could let that one go.
Sophie,
She's got
I had another girl tell me. Sophie, I had another girl tell me, "Don't you lose a pound, Daddy." She said, "Don't you lose a pound, because in my country, when you thick, that means you wealthy. That's wealth. Don't you lose a pound."
You know, Dave, I met you in Atlanta when Kara was not available.
Yeah, hold on. Let's make it clear. Hold on, because the internet run with it. When my fiance and my mother was there, and the other lifers like Corey G and Queen Sheen, I didn't just meet up with Sophie, that girl, in a clandestine night in Atlanta. So let's make that clear.
Everyone was there. Well, some of the people who live in Atlanta were there.
Amen.
I've only seen you from the neck up, you know.
Until you got Atlanta.
Yeah, so I didn't know what you got going on down there. I was like, oh, he's bigger than I thought. He's taller. I just was like, oh. So as you're talking about like them telling you about your six pack and stuff like that, it doesn't change.
Hey, Sophie, Sophie,
that you are.
You telling me on camera that I'm bigger than what you thought is not going to help you get to the wedding. Your whole shit will get revoked. For multiple reasons.
I told you the stripper that you gave this stripper more grace than you gave me. You the one brought up.
The stripper ain't like my wedding.
You the one brought up that you don't have a six pack.
Clean that up.
Nobody would ever know. You the one brought up that you don't have a six pack. Did he not, Kara? It ain't no thing. You engaged now. You's engaged now.
Kara, just ignore her.
But I ain't gonna hold you, and I ain't gonna lie to you. It is now 2:19, and we have had a good time. And all I'm gonna say is, Dave Life, we're not gonna cheat you. We're gonna continue to come to you with incredible content and entertainment and Christian, just our thoughts and our values. It does not have anything to do with our jobs and our personal lives. We are just sharing. Sometimes we are drinking tea or drinking something else. Just roll with it, like and subscribe. And to what's his name, Marvin Sims, we appreciate your clip. I thought it was very interesting and entertaining. It did, in all jokes aside, it did shed light on the people who are in a relationship with somebody that said okay, and then they're not acting like they are okay. And I believe that is wrong. That if you do say, like Kara was saying, let your yes be yes and your no be no. And the latter part of that is, it is better that you would have said no than to say yes and then have to turn it back into saying it's a no. So that's all I gotta say. Cheaters never win, winners never cheat. Ow.
Amen. That's what's up. Kara, last statements in conclusion before we bail out.
go play with somebody safe, baby.
That's it. Okay. Don't play with nobody safe. Hey, I want to say this to the ladies for real. We had a lot of jokes. I appreciate y'all. I put you on mute just for the echo. Hey, I appreciate you, Sophie, because last minute you showed up. Even when it took us an extra hour to get the technology together, and you're back on the East Coast, you hung out and you showed up. And that's no slight to everyone else that had stuff to do, because I respect all of my guest panelists, right? And I'm gonna name them. Shout out to Sheena. Shout out to Tony. Shout out to Al. Shout out to Corey. And even shout out to Shaq. Shout out to Estevan. and even some of the new people like Nesh and Michelle. God, I hope I didn't forget nobody because I'm in trouble if I did. All right. But there are certain people that came over with me on YouTube, and you guys, put up with the difference in the time with the East Coast, West Coast, the difference with Wi-Fi and technology. And Kara rhymes with Sarah. She kind of sees firsthand all that goes on with Dave. And some of it is me being a perfectionist, and some of it is me knowing that the production value had to go up. Because, Kara, we're on episode 247, but you've been rocking with me probably, I'm a guest, Kara, episode 50, episode 75. You've been rocking with me on Instagram before we had streaming technology, before we had cameras, that can focus and do all of that. Before we had a podcast room, before I was engaged, before I found the love of my life, Kara's been around and Sophie's been around, and they've seen the growth. And you guys are still around because you are helpers and you are partners in a business sense and in a friendship sense. And you respect my wife and you respect my fiance. Everyone don't get invites. And I know people gonna be like, I ain't get no invite, Dave. Blah, blah, blah. All I'm gonna say is this: these two women right here have been rocking with me since episode 50, episode 75. We're episode 247. So some of the people that may not have, it's not an offense, but I can only do so much. I can only pay for so much. And I gotta, respect and give honor to the people that have been there from Jump Street. So if you didn't get an invite, it's not an offense. It's not a personal thing. I'm not rich, but I just wanted to acknowledge certain people that got that were there. You know what I'm saying? So having said that, thank you, Kara, for rocking with me until 11:24 on the West Coast, which is 2:24 on the East Coast. Sophie, thank you for literally rocking with me till 2:24 on the East Coast, Sophie. Hold on. Go ahead. I had to unmute you. Say that again.
I'm not rocking for you tonight. It was because Kara, which rhymes with Sarah, is there. And I was like, this is so special.
Well, there it is.
I
Put my
was like,
shades
this
on.
is so special. And I really thought that Destiny was going to be there too. Because I thought I heard you say we had a surprise. I was like, oh,
So let me say this about Des as I put you guys back on mute just for the echo's sake. Let me say this about Des. Des is always ready to come on. She said to me tonight, she said, baby, if you want me to. If I said I need you, Destiny would have been the fourth quadrant. She would have been here. But I also know, and I know this, you guys, from being married once before. See, your gift will make room for you, right? But that don't mean that your spouse got the same gift. And no, I'm saying this, Sophie, for the crowd, not for Sophie. I know you get it. But as a believer, your gift will make room for you, but it don't mean that your spouse got the same gift. And I went through a prior marriage where the spouse did not have the same gift, and on top of that, was not supportive of the gift that I had. The difference is Destiny don't have the same gift. She don't love being on camera. She don't love exposing herself and her private life to the people. She don't love that. But Destiny loved David. So if David say, baby, I need you, Destiny says, yes, baby, I got you. What you need. Even if she's not comfortable, if it's out of her norm. So what I do is when she says, baby, if you need me, I'm there. I'll say, no, it's okay, baby. It's okay. She been watching the whole night on YouTube. I didn't see her make comments. I didn't put her on. See what I'm saying? But I don't need her on camera because I know at the end of the day, she got my back. And at the end of the day, she trusts me. And that's how I can be on camera with two independent, beautiful Black women until 11:30 at night, and my relationship is not in danger because Destiny trusts me. You know what I'm saying? And that's why these two ladies got invites because they never overstepped a boundary. And on top of that, when Destiny showed up in Atlanta, they got there. Except for we ain't talking about Kara and her we want to talk about that later, Kara. You like my baby sister. We'll talk about that later. You need to meet the queen before the wedding day.
I do know,
Okay,
but
we don't.
Atlanta traffic is challenging, and you changed up last minute. You told me.
I agree.
I was clear on the other side of town.
But to your credit, tonight you could have been like, Dave, we were supposed to be going on an hour ago, but you hung out, and I appreciate you. And look, I'm gonna give you the prayer hands. Thank you, Kara Rhymes with Sarah.
No problem.
And I'm not even being funny. Thank you, Kara. I mean that by my heart.
I canceled a date for this as well.
Okay, I had to go ahead, Sophie.
So she's cheating. Oh, you cheated on the date to be here with Dave and me. Oh, you're having a threesome. Oh, see, it all comes out. Kara was lying and said you cheated on that man to be here with me.
Well, I want to say something as the big brother. Whoever that Negro is, he got to go through us. He got through me, Sophie. He got a whole podcast to go through.
I don't think that'll be necessary. He will be going on to other ventures. Yes, amen.
She wasn't that
It's
interested.
a wrap.
His response was very telling.
Okay, I'm gonna say something. Use my language. Fuck that nigga. Fuck him.
I'm hearing.
Yeah, it is. All right. Hold on. We got comments. Somebody said something. I bet you it's my baby. No, it's not my baby. Shit.
Okay. I'm curious who else.
It's Tay Newsy. Tay Newsy said fires. Oh shit. Hold on. At Quell. Quell just jumped in. What's up, Quell? Quell in the building. Tay Newsy first gave us the flames. All right. Hey, look, hold on. Let me just let everybody go. Hey, y'all, it's late. We tired. I've been trying to close this out. But can I tell you something about my Lord and Savior? I'm gonna put the ladies on mute and I'm gonna let y'all go. Kara, relax. We about to go. Can I tell y'all about my God? I didn't know what we was gonna talk about tonight. I was like, you can ask Destiny. I said, babe, I don't know what the topic is. I don't know who's showing up. I'm not sure if the podcast room is gonna be viable. It's hot as hell, literally in here. Ain't it, Kara? We over here burning up. I'm like, look, they got equipment. But I'm like, I got equipment. And I'm trying to figure out their equipment. It's cameras and stuff. So they making sure I ain't stealing nothing. Stuff is bolted down. And all I want to do is just create the environment that I'm used to. You know, Kara, it's an environment for After Dark. But, you know, Sophie and Kara, you guys hung out with us. You sat in, you know, you put up with me. You gave me an opportunity, and I gave you guys the opportunity right back. And man, when we blow up, I'm not gonna forget the people that are here. Kara, you give me shit every day, but you're here. But you're here. Sophie, you don't give me shit. Sophie, you just will go off the rails. You just.
I am the cheerleader and now one of the first leading ladies of Dave Life. I got my crown. Queen, we gonna talk. It's okay. You couldn't make it. It's 2:00. I know, you know. All the other ladies, you know. But episode, I will never forget this night. It is 2:31 and episode 247. We have to stay. I know it's hot, but you have to stay till
16 more minutes.
Yes. I know it's hot. Fan. I see you sweating.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna stay to 2:47 Eastern
Okay,
Standard
so let me give the mic to Kara. Kara, look, you had a date. He ain't do right.
Mhm.
You came and hang out with your people. You
Mhm.
know, Kara, what made you say, you know what? I'm gonna invest a little more time into this podcast, and I'm gonna put up with the technological problems, and I'm gonna put up with the heat in this hot ass room, and I ain't had dinner. What made you say I'm gonna go ahead and do this and stick with us for this long?
So the problem typically when I'm at home is if I'm waiting and it's complete silence, the sleep starts talking to me, you know. So it's easier to stay up when I'm around someone else. But upstairs in my house, it's quiet as a, I, it's just tough. And I do wake up early, typically. So
Yeah,
it's difficult.
yeah. And you know, I want to say this to everyone watching. I recognize the coast difference. I recognize that if we start at 7 Pacific, that's 10 Eastern. I also recognize that there's a lot of competition, that Kendra goes on, at 6 p.m. and I'm coming on at 7. She already got an hour head start. I understand that other podcasters are going on. I understand that a lot of podcasters are talking about relationships. I get that. But I'm compelled to continue to go live because I feel that I have a message, and I feel that I have a voice, and I feel that I attract a certain type of person that rocks with me, and we as a collective speak to the public. Sophie, Kara, y'all are here because collectively we're speaking to an audience. Kara, your audience needs to hear us. Sophie, your audience needs to hear us. My audience needs to hear us. I honestly do believe, y'all, that my podcast is similar to a ministry. I feel like God is pushing me in a direction,
Mhm.
and I'm in the highways and byways, and I'm reaching those that have an ear to hear. And you guys are a part of that. And I'm gonna be honest. When we blow up, and we get our 30 million like Cam and Mace, the people that are faithful and the people that really have the passion for the ministry aspect, they the ones that get the contracts. It's gonna happen. I'm saying March 22nd, 2024, it's gonna happen. When we get a $30 million contract, I'm gonna call y'all up and be like, hey, Kara rhymes with Sarah. I told you, 30 million. You believe in me now? Sophie, that girl. 30 million. You ready to do your show?
Absolutely.
On Dave Life TV?
Absolutely. I'll be sending you
That's
stuff.
where we going.
Yeah, I'll be sending you. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this. And you're like, do it on the show. And I'm like, all right. I'm set up over here. I have a little sofa. I have a little. It's all.
We all are. And look, and I'm being super for real.
Seriously.
You guys have been rocking with me from IG days. Before David was engaged days, when we was wilding. Y'all been rocking with me. And when I said let's elevate, y'all said, okay, it's about time. Let's elevate. All right. And y'all are here to the point of staying up late at night, to the point of you're here for other business, but you still come hang out with your boy. You put up with all of the podcast equipment and problems. That's big. Because when we get the big contracts, it's going to be like, you know what? Kara was here. Sophie was here. Al Tariq was here. And I'm going to go back to some of my faithfuls. Kevin KJ Williams was here. Amber was here. And you know what I'm saying? You remember Amber earlier? She's my first co-host.
I know. That's when I refused to be on camera.
And these people are my friends outside of the show. These are my friends. These are people that I know. And so, Sophie, I met you for the first time at Christmas.
Mhm.
Right? I would have met Kara at Christmas, but she flaked on us.
Listen,
I
I'm
was
out in the streets trying to make some money pop. Come on now.
I can't be mad at you making money. So tonight, when Kara was like, "Hey Dave, I'm outside," and we went and we got all the equipment, I was like, "Hey Kara, it's our first time meeting in person."
I know. I was so like, hurry up.
Hey, so I got a question. Am I taller? Just let me finish. Am I taller or shorter? Am I bigger from a fat standpoint or even a muscular standpoint or smaller? Am I taller from a height standpoint? Like from what you saw on camera and all these years of talking to Dave, am I what you thought in your head?
So I'm 5'1".
Oh,
I mean,
Everybody tall.
yeah.
one.
Yeah,
Everybody,
it's kind of a secret, but yeah, I'm only 5'1".
Oh,
everybody taller than. It don't
Yeah.
matter.
yeah. I'm
Well,
5'9".
Kara rhymes with Sarah looks just like her pictures.
He lied. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Yeah, I'm only 5'1", girl. It's a secret. I be wearing them heels to try and fake it, but
Oh.
Hey,
I'm
Sophie,
pocket size.
you said we need to go to what time, Sophie?
It's 2:38 and it's episode 247. So it's
Oh, I
2:30.
don't know if we gonna make it. I'm tired. Shit.
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't even remember how I met Dave. I didn't see the show that he was on before. I didn't even know anything about that. I just logged in one day. I'm not sure how or why. Maybe I saw a clip and I was just all in the comments, just talking. I think at one point Dave thought I was trolling because I was just kind of like, no, I don't know what they're talking about. Oh, what the fuck you mean? Like, what this person, somebody was talking something crazy. And then Dave was like, all right, we're going to bring you up, So I came up and I just spoke and then here we are. I don't know what episode it was, but it was just always good energy. And then I began to understand that there was a situation that had happened and he received a lot of flack. And at the time, Dave was always putting on chapstick, always throughout the whole entire show. And then I think I may have asked or something, or somebody may have mentioned, why don't you sell it? Then he started selling, I got the whole line. I got the scrubs, I got the lipstick, I got the hoodies. And I was just always like, hey, you need to do this.
I want to jump in there.
Total stranger to me. And I'm like, hey, why don't
You
you
have
do
been a huge supporter
that?
of Daddy Dave's Luscious Lip Care and Dave Life After Dark, the podcast, because it's two different entities. And somehow, I don't know when you ran across my content, but somehow, Sophie, you would hit me up, be like, hey, Dave, I love your content. You need to push your hoodies. You need to push your lip balm. You need to push your lotions. And I was like, I don't know. It was a gag gift. I don't know if I really want to do it. You were like, but the quality is really good.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me send you a care package. But you spent a lot of money and you bought a package and then I added a bunch in for your birthday.
He did.
Because you were so supportive.
Yeah. It was good stuff.
And Kara, every time I got online, Dave, I got on your hoodie. You push your hoodies. Dave, talk about the hoodies. I was like, Kara, the hoodies are over. Me and the vendor ain't cool no more. The hoodies are nice. Push the hoodies.
Yeah, they were nice hoodies. And the thing about me is that if something resonates with me and I believe in it and I see as a visionary, as Kara, she's an entrepreneur, that when you see something, you are able to decipher like what's real and what's not, and Kara is very high level as someone who's never cheated, as somebody who has the capacity to say, I love you, but I'm leaving. I'm sorry that you cheated. I'm sorry for you, but I'm leaving. I had to grow into that. So when I see people who are true, who are pure, and I see the good in them, it just happens naturally. And people are kind of like, yeah, she's so, but it excites me, to see someone, I'm a synergist, to see someone do something that I admire, that is fun. It was like, I don't know if it was like during COVID, no one's going out. It was just nice and it was fun. I'm a single mother. I can't always get out and I don't really even want to be out there in the streets. I'm sitting here trying to sext right now. So, I mean, text. What did I say? Oh my gosh. Texting right now, but it's just fun to be able to speak to educated professional adults. I know. I'm trying to keep it moving, I'm trying to keep it moving, Dave. You know, roll with me. You know, Kara, look at him, roll with
Yes,
me.
we have 5 minutes.
Okay, it's
2:47.
it's 2:42 a.m. So it's just, to me, anybody that's doing something and they believe in it, it just makes it easy to support it. You know, I believe in you. I'm so very happy that you have brought us along on your journey, and you were able, you know, to find somebody, because apparently that was like the big thing. And look at God, everything that you said that you wanted, like literally you were able to get, you know. And I feel like, you know, I've even noticed, you know, since you've been destinyized, you know, that even your prayers are not, now I lay me down to sleep, bless the Lord at my soul.
Right.
It
Yep.
is more, it just, and I think one time I called you and I was like, Dave, your opening prayer. Okay.
Yep.
I like that. You know, I like that.
I want to chime in on that.
Yeah.
So my perspective is his prayers changed before destiny.
Mm-hmm.
And because I remember talking to him about After Dark and like some other things. And I'm like, look, you say you want this, but you giving that.
Yeah.
So if this arrives and she see that, what's gonna happen?
For clarity, After Dark was your favorite late night adult podcast, heavy accent on adult. And so we would go there and people would hit me up and say, hey, let's talk about risque conversations. And I did. I was single. Sometimes some people would get on camera and flirt. I flirted back. I was single. Sometimes some people would hop in the DMs and flirt. I would flirt back. I was single. But, there was someone before Destiny that I thought I liked, the Atlanta girl, the one that I talked to the little swan. Yeah. And everybody's like, oh my God, David found somebody.
Not everybody.
Facts. Because some people was like, oh, I'm not feeling it, Dave. She ain't the one. But the point I'm making is when I fell for someone, I started to change my conversation a little bit. Because I started thinking, well, I got to represent whoever she is. All right, so that's 2021. Fast forward to December 2022, I meet Destiny. And in January 2023, I'm very aware she's the one. It's just in my spirit. I was like, yo, I can't continue to do what I was doing. I can't be out here clowning. Even if it's a joke, Kara. Because you guys know me. You're like, oh, Dave is being goofy. You know, that's Dave. We know who he is. But someone that's never seen my show is like, oh, who is this guy? He talking about guy? Then he talking about coochie? Who is this guy? And I had to clean it up. And me and you, Kara, had a pointed conversation. He was like, Dave, I'm rocking with you, but I can't do the foolishness you used to do. And I was like, you're right, Kara. And you're like, Dave, I'm with you. You want to talk about topics? You want to have serious conversations? I'm with you. He said, but what you used to do, I can't do that no more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Even me and we had a conversation about Christianity because I had a great Sunday show about God and my walk with God.
Yes.
And then somebody hit me and was like, oh, why don't you do Bishop Daddy? That's a character. We love Bishop Daddy. And Bishop Daddy was a pussy prophet. It was a character. It was a character. I just want to say that. So Sophie, I had a great Sunday morning talking about the Lord, talking about walk with God. You were on there. Everybody loved it. And then 50 minutes later, I come back on talking about Bishop Daddy and pussy prophet.
There was a woman that was there. I thought she was, we were vibing, but I felt like, is she a witch? But it was like vibing. And then I was like, no, I don't quite really believe in that. Like, no, I didn't really read that scripture that way because I know, no, I really, and then it was like, hey, time is up. We're going to go ahead and switch and go. And when we switched, and then Bishop Dave. You know,
Bishop
I
Bishop
believe,
Daddy.
yeah, I believe it was a spirit, you know, that was in the atmosphere, because when he was doing that and doing the voice changes and all that, then I even was kind of like, hey, and I think I even patted my vagina or something, you know, just coming from talking about God. And then when he did the bishop thing, and then with this little white girl with this thing, we were all
Yeah,
talking
we went
about
too far.
Jesus. And then it was kind of like, yeah, and did it, and I was kind of like, what am I doing? Like,
And here's what I learned. The Holy Spirit convicted me and was like, hey, don't
yeah,
talk about me on your platform. And then 15 minutes later, you go into the
I'm
flesh.
sorry. It's 2:47. It's 2:47 a.m. Not to cut you off. Bill, Bill.
I have been on the show 3 times this week. Okay, this is a record for me. Okay,
First timer.
I'm going
Straight
to
up.
sleep.
All right, so look, this is what we're gonna do. We made it to 2:47 in Atlanta,
Yes.
which is 11:47 in Los Angeles. This is episode 247, relationship trauma, stay and pray. Right. So we've made it to that point in the show. And you know what? I don't think there's anything else to say. I'm just going to end the show because I want to say thank you to Sophie. Thank you to Kara. Thank you to Brother Marvin Sims for putting up that interesting,
Yes.
which we found out was a meme. But thank you for putting that up, sir. That gave us 2 hours and 42 minutes of conversation to talk about.
We gotta stay till 2 hours and 47 minutes. No, I'm
No,
just
we out of here. No, we good. We didn't did it now. We good. We give them 5 minutes. God bless them. We're gonna go ahead and cut out, but I want to tell you guys, I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for joining. And you know, this is a live episode. We're gonna see you guys next week on Thursday for episode 248. And maybe in between you might get an extra episode because me and Kara and Sophie and Tony, we did an episode earlier this week that's still in the can. I didn't produce that one yet.
Oh, okay.
That's the beauty of pre-recording. It's beauty.
Shout out to Tony.
Shout out to Tony, man. Hey,
Yeah.
Sophie, we're not gonna say no last words. Kara, no last words. I appreciate y'all, man. We'll see y'all next time, all right, on Dave Life After Dark. Thank you, ladies, for joining. I really do appreciate y'all. Man, we here. It's Dave, man. Thank you, everybody. Episode 247. You gonna relationship trauma stay and pray, or you gonna stay and pay? We out, man. Peace.